Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing today on this Friday with hopefully, I think last week was announcement week, so hopefully we get an update this week. They said new parts probably every 4 weeks, so likely if it is an update, it will be fixes. How's it going there, Will? How are you? How are you? So, worked on, been mostly playing Tarkov the last couple days. Did a stream yesterday of Tarkov with stormworks is good to have for the load-ins of Tarkov, as they can be like 10 minutes. So did a little bit of work on the home ship, trying to get this ready so that we can use it. So didn't do too much. Put in the ballast system. So ballast control is in. So, you know, these panels look daunting. Some people are like, how are you ever going to fill these? A lot of systems are going in a big ship this big. So this is all the ballast panel that went in. That came off Triton. That's right there. Put in pumping systems for the ballast on each of the tanks. I have equalization tanks going in from the fuel, so the 2 fuel tanks will equalize. I also need to put in a air relief system in here, so that's what this area is right here. So let's work on that. So my two ballast tanks relieve I'm trying to think, equalize air, let's put it that way, equalize air into the weight compartment. And then from there is a going to be a system here to then vent the air to the outside atmosphere, and that will allow the system to equalize. So we're going to get that plumbed in here so that air pressure can come right out and equalize the tanks. A lot of people are still struggling with this. It makes perfect sense. You know, this has to be done in IRL. You even have to do this when you put a rush hole in a bottle that you're trying to empty, you know, so it's pretty normal to have to do, so we're doing that right now. You know, while the pressurization mechanics are not perfect, they, you know, I don't know, some people are acting as though they're really super duper weird. They're not. They're pretty normal, actually, so they are that. Let's go ahead and I think we'll put, let's see, gas relief on there. Yeah, I think we'll just do it there. And then a fluid port. So this will just go underneath the helipad. And then like that. All right, good. So that will be our gas relief for right there. I don't know why that's double-sided in itself, but it is. Okay. You son of a bitch. Let's go back. Okay, good. So we'll put in relief port in here. All right, so that brings gas relief down to here, and then it goes all the way down here. There's a fluid port there. And so what this will do is, if we look here, we have a fluid port into, this is the starboard stern water ballast tank. And so there is a fluid port with a gas relief valve there. And this will let air come in and out. So this will try to maintain the same pressure in this tank as in the atmosphere. And so that goes into the weight area here. You see there's one here. There's one there. There's one there. There's also 2 right here behind for the fuel right there, as you can see, on either fuel tank. And that equalizes all the air pressure between the weight room. And then the weight room here has its own equalization tube that comes up here, and that goes out to the outside, and that's going to allow air pressure to equalize between all the tanks. Yeah, I haven't really done big boat stabilization. Most of the same stuff is pretty much there. I'll do a weight stabilization at some point, but that's a good idea there, Xander. Yeah, doing like a purpose-built one. Let's see. All right, so we put in the container, you know, racks here. Want to work on the crane controls so that I can operate the crane from multiple different positions. That needs to be done. Trying to get this in the world, so yeah. That should be done at some point. So let's work on that next. Just checking. If you guys see the update pop up, let me know. Usually it comes around noon. Let's see, what did last week's? Let me check the time on last week's. It just said Friday. They used to put the dates, I think. I don't think they do it anymore. Let me see if there's a date stamp or time stamp. Okay, so first comment last week was at 12:03 p.m. So it's 12:07 p.m. my time. So usually around now is when they put them out. So hopefully we'll get an update pretty soon here. But just kind of expecting that. All right, so I'm trying to think of the best way to control this. So let's see. I need to look at crane controls and then see if I need to change anything. Let's see. What are you? Are you crane controls? What is this? Let's see. This is yaw and extend retract. This is the crane controls right here. All right. Yep, so that is crane controls, and then this does up, down. What else goes to this? And then 6 I had connected, up, down. Pretty much just up, down is the only thing I have on there. And then, oh, 1, 2 there. Okay, so let's fix this crane control system up so that any, you know, we're going to have multiple places to control this crane, so we want that to be possible so that we can jump on any of the, I'm going to use handles for most of it. Might have a chair in the bridge for it as well, but most of it's going to be handles. So right here is yaw. Let's see. So axis 3 is, let's see, yaw is going to be left, right. So what we'll do here is, I want to change the way this works because I want to do multiple controls. So what we're going to do is this will be increment of, what am I running there for a rate? 0.01. All right, so this will be 0.01 is my increment. Reset value is 0. We're going to enable the clamp. We're going to make it negative 0.01, 0.01 because this is a velocity pivot. Okay. And so then what we're going to do here is that's going to go to yaw. That can go adieu. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn... the problem is I'm trying to think about doing this as... I don't want a remote control. I'll just do it. Remote control can be convenient, but I don't know. The problem with the remote control is this. I wish the devs would make the remote control configurable like it is, like the handles are. So if I take a remote, put a remote right here for now, and if I take a handle, so here's a control handle. It's going to be a pain in the ass. We'll have to stick it somewhere else. Let's see. Actually, we'll stick there. Okay. So like if I click on a seat or a handle, the nice thing I can do here is I can go to like AD. I can change the sensitivity. I can also change it from reset to sticky. I wish we had that functionality with the controller here. The problem is I can't make an axis reset 100%. And so what this makes it really easy to do is I can add any of the handles together. So if I'm on one handle, it will control it normally. If I try to put a remote in the mix, I have to change the way I do it, which is kind of sucky. I can't do that reset 100%, which turns essentially an axis into 2 buttons. And so that's kind of annoying, so I can't really do the remote the way I want. You know what I'll do? I'll be able to add the remote. It'll just have to be done differently. So let's keep that in mind, and we'll see if I can add it later. All right, so let's go. We'll change the name of this so I know what we're actually working with here. Here's crane control. All right, here's crane controller. All right, so what we're going to want to do here is, so this is yaw, so that's the 3-axis. And so what we want to do is take, we'll start with seat, and we'll go to the 3-axis. So be the 3-axis here. All right, and then what I want to do is we want some threshold gates. So this will be 1. This will be negative 1, like so. That will go there. This will go here. And then we'll do one more threshold for 0. If we get 0, it will go there. And that will reset it to 0. That does yaw control. Extend retract is going to be the same dealio as this now. All right, and so what we'll do is now the rate I'm doing here is 0.25, 0.25, so this will just change there. All right, good. That goes like that. This goes see you later. All right, and then what am I doing on that? Channel 2. So same thing here. We'll take these. All right, and that goes like so. Okay, good. All right, good. So that's all set there for extend, retract, yaw. I need up, down. So what am I doing up, down? So WS is 2, so that's going to be 4. All right, I don't know what the rate was. So let's expect this rate here. Same for lift as yaw, because we want that to be slow. We don't want to jostle the load. So let's go 4. 4 there, and we'll grab all the stack again. All right, good, and that will be number, output, pitch. All right, good, so that's plumbed in there. So what else do we need? Up, down, so let's see, that's there. WS, what is WS? WS is in, out. Left, right is nothing. All right, so we'll turn 1, 2. See, this is a problem too, is if we grab this controller here, I'll show you. Trying to make this work with the remote, and so this becomes problematic here. Because again, I can't select this. So for example, I can go in the seat, I can go to 1, and I can turn it from toggle to push. Can't do that with this. So this, we're stuck with the remote, and it's going to be in its default state, which I believe is toggle. So like, if we press 1, it's toggle, so I believe. Let's see. So like, can I read it? I can't read it. So that's going to be stuck in toggle, so I don't really want it toggle. Yeah, that's why the remote... Hey, how's it going there, Amanda? That's why the remote annoys me is... Again, did I put in... Let me see if I put in a feature request for the remote. Again, just me complaining about it doesn't do anything. You know, I'm a big firm believer in actually going there and trying to, you know, to do that. So, like, let's look at the bug tracker here and see if there's a bug tracker. If there is, we should star it. Because just complaining about it doesn't do anything. I see rants constantly, and they don't really do much. You got to kind of help a little bit. Close, no, disconnect, beep. Okay, that is not what we're talking about. Okay, here we go. So if we look, remote control is going to be a very nice feature in game, but the properties can't be changed like a seat. So it'd be nice if the remote control had a changeable properties like the seat, and the cable hose rope is pretty much important on the game. Sometimes we just need a long range. Okay, whatever. Okay, so let's look at the duplicate. Handheld controllers should have the ability to have stick mode, sensitivities, and button access, naming, toggle, push to be modeled like a normal seat. Perfect. That's a good feature request there. 2 years old. Let me see, am I signed in? I'm not signed in. Let me sign in because that star won't count if I don't sign in. But this is what I recommend. You know, somebody had on yesterday on Reddit, they were talking about like, oh, just spam them with fix game, essentially. You know, that's a simplification of what they're saying, but that's essentially what it was. And I think that's a poor method. Is, you know, when have you ever done better work because somebody was bugging you? You know, never. And, you know, a business has the right to tell you to get lost when you're being obnoxious, and especially obnoxious on purpose. And so, you know, this is very important to me, but it might not be important to anyone else. So sometimes people think that what's important to them is the most important thing in the world, and it just isn't sometimes. And so this is important to me, but it might not be important to that many people. You notice it's 2 years old. This is the duplicate. This is where everything should be for this, and it only has 12 stars. you know, if this had 50 stars, the devs could say, wow, this is really important to people. But if you go in there and you just constantly spam remote, 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 and you don't actually support the duplicate, they don't know at quick glance what is important to people. And that's how you get some of the stuff done, is you come in, like, it was clear that certain issues from the pressurization update were very important to people, and so, you know, you saw them. They were well starred. There were like some of them literally with 40 stars, and so it was easy for the devs to say, oh, this is the major problem people have, we'll tackle this first, you know. And so that is the right way to do it. Like here, so like this is the first ones I even see stars. Point of sale diesel oil, jet fuel. This is the this is where the tanks get stuck. You know, so that one, and again, you see they're repetitive, and it's better to put them in singles because this is the same as this. So this one isn't really 3, this is 6. So if you added all these together, that the pumps, you know, clog with air, and you saw the number was 40, the devs can easily say, hey, wow, that one's 40. That one's really important to people. This one here, winch speed setting by Citrus, you know, 15, that's a big number. So like, if you were a dev and you're coming in and you wanted to fix something, you could quickly say, oh my god, 15, this one's really important to people. We'll look at this, we'll consider changing, or we might explain why we did it the way we did it. You know, this one here, 7, this one's pretty popular. 11, collision of character radar is too loud, too large. You can start to see what is actually important to people. So if you're coming in here and you quickly need to find a bug to squash that's, you know, really affecting a lot of people, like here, right here. This one, it's not exactly what the other radar one was, but if you added them together as a radar issue, you know, you're starting to get to that's important to people. You know, but like, look at all these. These have no stars on them, so it's easy for you to say, okay, we'll ignore those, we'll ignore those. Oh, here's a 5. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay. You know, that's the way that some of these are, I think it's easier for them to see it and to actually get stuff done. So that would be my recommendation, is to, make sure you actually go on there, search, and star. Let me just check real quick, see if the update's out. Let us see. I don't see it yet there. It's not on my update. Let's see if it's on the main update. Steam's kind of tough sometimes to get it to reset that page, so I don't see it up yet, so... Alright, so we'll keep working on this. So that's my issue with the remote. And again, instead of just going on Reddit and ranting, or going on Steam and ranting, went where they asked us to. I searched, I found the duplicate, because all you're doing is you're making more work for the devs. They have to spend time clearing duplicates instead of time adding the features or fixing bugs. So it's better search for the duplicate, because they by hand have to put all the duplicates together, and then you get somebody else making a new duplicate. So if I made a new duplicate right then, it would be counterproductive. It wouldn't be helping, it would be hurting, and that's not helpful if you actually want the problem fixed, you know. So you know, that's in there. It makes it tough to be able to do this because these are toggles, they're not pushes. So I would love to be able to do a remote, but that is a big limitation there. So for now, we'll figure we're not going to do it with a remote. All right, so we have pitch, yaw, pitch, extend, retract. Yaw, pitch, extend, retract. And then we need to have winch up, down. So let's see. What is WS? WS is extend, retract. Okay. I might change this. I think I won't. Let's do this. Let's make, since we're not going to do that, let's do this. All right, this is going to be output, winch up, down. Okay, those winch up and down right there. Let's get a text box in there. I don't have text box selected anymore. I'll go without it. It's fine. All right, that is winch up and down. Okay, and then what we'll do here is we'll go on-offs. And we'll make that 1, 2. 1 will be up. 2 will be down. And then since we're configuring them as seat, well, I can go ahead and put those as pushes. I don't know, sometimes toggle is beneficial, sometimes push is beneficial. The nice thing with toggle, I'm trying to think, this is the night. Okay, so this is what we'll do. So the nice thing with toggle is you can leave it, especially if you have a lot of winch to go out. So the better thing to do is this. So we'll go up, down, counter. And we will go increment 1, clamp 1, -1, up, -1, 1, -1, 1. Did I screw these up? No, I did not. Okay. All right, so we'll do that. Then we'll do pulses here so that it just taps once. Oh, come on. Grab them. There we go. And then that will go like this. Zing, zang. All right, and that's good. Let's go like that. Okay, and then we want thresholds 1 and -1. Okay. Okay, that fixes that. All right, so that is going to do that. All right, so let's give that a run. So let's see, we want to change up some of these. So we want 1 is going to be push, that is winch up, winch down, push. Yeah, so that's what people are asking for. That's what I'm asking for, is the ability to essentially click on the remote and configure it to be like these seats. AD, we're no longer, are we using AD? AD, yep, we're doing sticky, we're doing reset 100%. This is going to be, AD is not being used actually. WS is going to be extend, let's just do boom. Reset 100% on that. Left, right, reset 100%. Up, down is going to be, should be reset 100%. All right. And then trigger is going to be mag all. So what's that? 32, I believe, is trigger. Let's check the composite. 32 is 31's trigger. Okay. 32 is occupado. Okay. All right. This will be 31. All right, so this is the trigger. That's going to be function, whatever the main function is of the block. So this will be output winch 1 on/off. Okay, that can go like that. This can go like that. Okay, got to clean that up a little bit. All right, so that will be that. That will be a toggle. All right. So then this here is gonna, we'll start filling this out here. So that's gonna be winch up, up and up. It could be down, 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 and down. Winch 1 is gonna be this winch here. And then I need to fix this one because I want it to be on this side. Okay. And so when we do that, we pass a on-off signal through here, and it goes right through, and that controls the mag all on this. So it's going to be a function, so we can connect something else to this, and it will still have an on-off function. The winch 2, eventually we'll put winch 2, so this one will communicate, and if we have 2 functions, it can go to that as well. So that'll give us multi-function capability. Pitch goes there. This is going to allow us to easily control this from different areas. Where's that? Linear track base. Okay. Extender track, that's good. And then right now I have 6 as the unlock. So let's go ahead and we want to add a node. Let's see. Crane lock. All right, we'll make this 6. We might make this so that if nothing's occupied, the lock is on it as well. But for now, we'll do that. 31. So I make this a looping button. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make this a looping button because it's we're gonna do multiple control stations. So it'll be increment 1 enabled. 2. Threshold. So it's a looping button, 2, 2. That way we can control it from anywhere. So 31 will just count up. All right. And then this will be... it's going to end up releasing the crane lock, so we will go... Let's do that. And we'll do threshold here of 1. Okay. So that's a looping button. That way we can control it from any of the stations we're at. And that will be a push. So, because of that we need a pulse, because we want to turn that. I'll grab pulse up this. There we go. Pulse on there. Okay, that should work nicely. Let's go ahead and we want to click on that for 6. Push. Crane. Lock. Release. Okay. Alright, there we go. That way I can unlock it anywhere. And where's that? Crane lock release is right here. Okay, good. So let's give this a quick run. Updates out? Alright, thanks. Let me take a look. Still not showing for me. Saying, what's up? Let's see. Oh, there it is. Good. It just refreshed. Alright, perfect. Alright, let's, I'm going to quickly record the update. I'll read it to you guys and I'll record it. And welcome back to Weekly Update. This is version 1.9.25, the fixes and improvement updates for January 19th, 2024. And the first screenshot is by. All right, let's find the first screenshot. Whom by? Still a lot of controversy with this. If you go to Vehicle Showcase and you look at the top, it says images may be used in announcements. You're giving them permission to use your image if you put it there. So there's a disclaimer there, giving them permission to use it. They've explained why they don't credit it, because if they credit it wrong, again, anybody could download something and then put it on there. They don't want to mislabel something and have the community mad at them. So Kokone. All right, if that's not how that's pronounced, let me know if you know. All right, let's see. Yep, shit. How did I close that? Okay. Dear Stormworkers, this is Update Week, and we have a small update focused on fixes and improvements. While this may be a minor update, there are many important changes which players have been asking for. These improvements include a new space tag for the workshop to help organize and find these creations. And the next screenshot is by. So that's cool. New tag that you can put on. I delete all the tags myself, but for those who may like it, it is there. Cat. Okay, Cat is the person who did this one. Sadly, the bug allows players to fly. What the hell? Okay. Okay, this doesn't make sense, the sentence. Anyways. Sadly, the bug allows players to fly with a fire extinguisher has been addressed. Fire extinguishers still apply force in space, allowing you to propel yourself around, but on Earth, they don't apply any force anymore. So that's good. I like to see that. And the next screenshot is by. Yeah, I think it was way overblown. Like, it was pushing you all over town, and, you know, you have some body weight. It acted almost like you're in space. So glad they addressed that. Glad they decreased how strong the fire extinguisher was. You know, it was way overdone. And so I'm glad. It made it hard to fight fires as you're moving around. You have to jump up over things, and you're trying to spray the fire so you don't get burned at the same time. It's a nice one by FJ Warner. And so it was a good, I think it was a good decision to make it so that that doesn't get affected when you're on the ground. I know some people like it, but you know, it's a balancing act between reality and fantasy. And some people want more fantasy. They're going to be upset when it goes more in a reality direction. Some of us want reality, and it's going to make the fantasy people upset. So again, it's a balancing act, you know. So let's see, where are we at there? Where the hell is this rocket? There it is, right there. Okay. Giacomo. Giacomo. All right, good. So we get that in there. Let's see. Full list of changes, see the notes below. Next week, we have a really big announcement, so be sure to join us for the new info. We won't say any more as to spoil the update, so catch you then. That sounds cool. And the next screenshot is bye. All right, cool. So it sounds like they've got a big announcement. You know, they've talked about they're holding their cards close to the vest, and I certainly don't blame them for that. Any sort of hype is really people run with it. People run with any hype, and then you're always disappointed because you hype it up more than it could ever be, and then get disappointed. Giacomo again. All right, there we go. So Giacomo twice. Giacomo, Giacomo. It's pronounced both ways. I don't know which this person prefers, so I'll say it both. Much love, stormworks developers, and here are the patch notes for version 1.9.25. Feature added space and train tags to workshop uploads. Feature added rotation, angular speed, and tilt to the astronomy sensor, so that should be helpful building some systems for space maneuvering. Fix multiplayer rope render sync. Fix winch speed settings appearing on rope hooks. Fix hide add-on pop-up during photo mode. Fix disable editing of vehicles with passengers. Fix skybox rendering issues. Fix DLC icons on server list overlapping. Fix compartment internal fluid height issues. Fire extinguishing underwater line. That's something people have been talking about. Their fires would be put out if they were under the water line, even though there's no water in the ship. Fixed tractor and engine preset issues. Balance. Reduced fire extinguisher force. That's a weekly update, and we'll see you next week. Bye. All right, good. So that is recorded. I'll put that out later. But some good fixes in there. You know, some that that I've been looking for. I won't speak for. I know other people have been looking forward to some of these fixes. You know, from reading their requests, but not sure about this multiplayer rope render sync. People are always complaining about multiplayer. Part of it is networking. Part of it is inherent in the game. But anytime you can get better syncing, that is good because a lot of players there, I think I heard somebody talking about their ropes were not syncing properly. So on one client, the ropes would be in one position. On another client, they would be in another position, leading it to look like likely for the person who's not hosting the game, like they were fluttering. I've seen some videos with that. Winch speed settings appearing on rope hooks. So they did this last week with, or was it last week, the pulley update? I can't remember the last week or the week before with the pulley update. I could actually look. I'll follow my own thing. Here it is, 2 weeks ago. Actually reading the updates instead of guessing. So we'll see if they're back in the winch. They were put on the rope hooks. Whether or not, you know, they didn't extrapolate whether I think their intention was to put it on the ropes, on the anchors rather, and then the community showed that they didn't like that idea, and so we'll see if they revert it back. Hide on add-on pop-ups during photo mode. Okay, so that's probably, like, you'd get pop-ups sometime if you had an add-on running in the game, and if you're trying to take a photo, it's annoying that the message pops up. You need to wait for it to clear to take your photo, so that makes sense. Disabling editing of vehicles with passengers, no clue what that's about. Skybox rendering issues. I'm curious if this is the black dots. That would be helpful. I literally, if we bring up my picture for today, which I need to clean that up, you see these little dots. These are all from the Space DLC. So what these are is essentially, that's your stars. They're these little visible black dots that then turn into stars at night. And they're kind of annoying because I have to go back, and this is literally, where is my stamp? Where the hell's my stamp? Why can't I find my stamp? Here it is. This is what I literally do when I make one of these pictures now, is I put in a stamp, and I clean these all up because you can see how they're just like black dots all over my screen. And so I'm hoping that's what they fix. You can see how like I have to go back and independently clean them all up to make the picture look good. You know, like this could be gone, that could be gone there. But you can see how like it's kind of gross, all those little black dots. It's distracting. So I'm hoping that's what the skybox issue was. We'll check it out in a second here. I don't see any dots right now. Now there. I have to reboot the game for that to take place anyways. So let's do that. And we'll go back and we'll finish this reading up the update. So let's save this real quick. I'll quickly just reboot the game and to get the new update going. And if that is if that's what they fix, that's awesome. That's what I would really like to see. Yeah, because that's one of my gripes. I don't have many gripes from the space DLC. A lot of people are conflating the space DLC with they're conflating space DLC with the pressurization major update. They're not the same. The pressurization major update added the pressure mechanics that I think are fine. There's still some bugs, some problems, some balance issues with those, but for the most part, I think it was a great update. I think a lot of people they're not big into the engineering part of the game. They get intimidated by having to learn it. It's frustrating if you have limited game time and you have to rebuild something, but it is a building game, and so I think it was a big change, for a big positive change. There are issues people are having. For example, you can sink boats. You cannot sink boats well, at least currently, if you do damage. You have to do an obscene amount of damage to get enough water on board to sink your ship. You can still sink ships. You open doors, you pump out air, the ship sinks, okay? But damage, it's not really working that well. That's probably going to be a balance pass. They're probably going to have to tweak and change that. But, you know, that's also not the major thing of the game. Okay, good. Look. I don't see any black dots, baby. I think that was it, man. I think they did it. That's beautiful. I don't see any black dots. So that's gorgeous, man. That was my #1 gripe. See no black dots anywhere? That's awesome. So the stars used to show up as black dots instead of going opaque. Now, if you notice, there are your same skybox details, but now we don't have the black dots. So that is really fantastic. That, I think, is a big step in the right direction there. See no black dots anywhere? That's beautiful. I do have a dirty-ass monitor, so I have to double-check to make sure they're not the dirt on my monitor. But nope, as you can see, no black dots. So that is really fantastic. I'm thrilled with that. That is a good update, in my opinion, because like I said, I literally had to go back and delete all of those whenever I wanted to make a nice picture. So, you know, that is a bug, I think, or a design choice that I think was a poor design choice, and it got fixed. So I'm thrilled with that. That's huge for me. I was so sick of having to fix that. I didn't like the look of it during the day, so I'm happy they fixed that. That's nice. Let's see what else. So screw that. Sorry, guys. Got my windows stuck open. All right, so if we click on the winches, look, winch speed's back, baby. So winch speed was moved to the rope anchors. I think the devs got it in their head that that was a good idea. The community spoke. The community hated it, and guess what? They reverted it. So, you know, the devs get hate constantly. Like it's funny. Somebody was talking about what was it? Toxic positivity. Well, first of all, positivity isn't toxic. For example, you know, if I'm trying to think of like a case of toxic positivity. I don't know, like if you're sitting in a pot of boiling water and you're like, oh yeah, turn up the heat. Oh yeah, I love this. You know, this is great. Yeah, you know, boil me. You know, yeah, that could be considered toxic. Oh yeah, sorry guys. Sorry guys, there we go. That could be considered toxic positivity maybe, but for the most part, you know, positivity really isn't all that toxic, I don't think. You know, definitely not on the same scale. But anyway, my point with that is the devs get the negative feedback constantly. And they deserve it sometimes. You know, they deserve reasonable criticism. Everybody deserves reasonable criticism. But they very rarely get the pat on the head because you're assumed to always do the right thing. And because you're assumed to always do the right thing, you don't get your pat on the head as much as you should. And so often I find the devs never get their pat on the head. Some of these people that will say, oh, that people are toxically positive, I don't think they necessarily are. What they are is they see the devs getting kicked every day, and they're like, oh, I saw them do this good thing. I'm going to make sure I pat them on the head. You know, and that's what I think's happening. Like, if we look here, so I know you guys said that the stream starting soon was on, but you can see all those black dots are gone. So that was a big thing for me. So, but yeah, so they definitely deserve their pat on the head for getting that fixed. For the winches, that was something that the community was talking about. The community wanted winch speed, myself included, back on the winches. You know, it was something I didn't like. I didn't act like a jackass and go on and cry and yell at the devs and call them stupid like some people do. You know, but I voiced my concern. I use Citrus's bug tracker here, so let's get on. Make sure I'm still signed in. Okay, good. So let's see, winch. All right, winch. So right here, we did a search. Look at that. Here's Citrus's winch. So like, look at this. This is probably why they changed it. I just talked about how make sure you put your stuff in the right place if you actually want it fixed. If you're just ranting, go to Reddit. It's the perfect place for it. It's all grouchy people in there anyway. But for here, if you look, Citrus put up winch speed setting. Let's read Citrus's thing. I'm not sure if there's a bug or not, but now you can't change the winch speed. You can change the speed of the rope anchors. I'm not sure if that's the way it's supposed to be. I like the way Citrus put this. Instead of saying, you guys are stupid for putting it on the anchors. Like, you'll hear that sometimes. You'll see that in here. That's useless. Nobody cares about that. So, again, reasonable. I don't know if there's a bug or not, but you can't change the anchor. Is that the way it's supposed to be? You notice this is a duplicate of all these. All right, so, you have more commentary here, but, like, if we go here, duplicates of this issue. So, close duplicate, okay? If you go to set as duplicate and go there, it comes up to Citrus's, all right? This is what I was talking about. Do not make a new friggin' thread, because all the devs do is it wastes their time to have to come through. They're going to consolidate it anyways. So if you look at this one has 15. This one has 11, all right? So we're talking 26. This one has 8, so we're talking 34, and that's 3, all right? So that's 37. 37 stars for the winch. So that tells the devs, now imagine if these were all consolidated by us instead of by the devs, and you had one thing that had 37 stars, it's easy for the devs to scroll through and say, oh my god, look, this one has 37. People really didn't like our decision to put them on the rope anchor. We'll change that. So that's why I'm a big advocate for, just do a search, man. Search, put them all in one. All right, here we go. Look at this. Here's another one. Right? That should be in here with this. I think that did get put in the duplicates. It did. That's one of the duplicates. But you can see, like, these 3 being in different threads are not helpful. The best thing to do is put them all in one thread. Do that work, because all the devs are going to do is they're going to waste their time consolidating it for us. Just do it. Search, glom on, put commentary, because when they open this up and they say, oh, there's 15 stars here, there's a reason why Citrus's probably got picked as the one. If you look, it keeps closing, I gotta keep typing in. But if you look, Citrus's was the first one up. Then you had this one, then you had this one. So that's why Citrus got picked as the main one. And these got put into the duplicate. All 3 of these got put into the duplicate. So if this person had searched and added to Citrus's, and this person had searched and added to Citrus's, and this person had searched and added to Citrus's, it would have made it look much more important to the community that gets fixed. So, Jesus, guys, sorry, I keep fucking up my my thing here. But yeah, so anyways, sorry guys, I'm not running OBS very well today, but as you can see, Citrus's was first. He's got 15. This was the one that got put in the duplicate. We're up to, what, 34 is what I said? So there's 34 stars. It's so easy if they're looking for a bug to fix for the weekly bug fixes that they scroll through. Oh my god, look, 34. Like, this one has 1. This one has 34. Let's work on 34. Oh, people really don't like that we moved the speed from anchors, from winches to anchors. Let's move it back. And then guess what? The community's happy because 37 people took the time, which means probably 10 times that amount at least of people were annoyed by that bug or that change. And that's how you get it done. And so it's obnoxious when people don't do that. I think it's important for you to, do a search, get it put in the right place. That really helps. Because they're just going to do it anyways, and we're just wasting their time, which is our time. We want them to work on the game. We don't want them to do stupid stuff, as far as I'm concerned. All right, so let me read some chat here. But I'm glad they fixed that. That was something that was quite annoying, I think, to a lot of the community, and they fixed it. So they definitely get their pat on the head for doing the right thing there. So I think they deserve the pat on the head. So what we'll do here is we'll go in the discussion, which inevitably devolves into misery and negativity. And we'll give them their pat on the head, because guess what? They're going to get hit over the head with a hammer by 200 people in here. So let's thank them for the things they did well. This is not toxic positivity. This is acknowledging that most of the community's interaction with them on these forums is negative, and it's saying, hey, there are things I don't agree with. I didn't pat them on the head for changing the winches because I didn't like it. But I didn't hit them over the head either, And so the other people were hitting them over the head. So I'm going to give them their pat on the back for doing the thing right, All right, thanks for changing the winch speed back. Thanks for getting rid of the black squares. Thanks for getting rid of the black squares in the skybox. What else do they do? Let me see what else. What else do they do on there? I can edit it, but So again, they deserve their pat on the head whenever they do something right. And sure, of course they deserve their the stick when they do something wrong, but they get the stick constantly. I'm happy with the fire extinguisher, so let's read all the things they changed that I'm happy with. Let's see. This one I don't really care about too much, but it's good they fixed it. It's just not important to me. And then, where are we at here? So let's go ahead and edit. All right, thanks for fixing. Thanks for, I don't even know if it's even fixing. I'm sorry, guys. I keep screwing up with the display cap. I'm kind of out of it today. Alright, so the last one was thanks for changing fire extinguisher behavior to be more realistic. It was frustrating to fight fires while being thrown around. So, that's good feedback. Give them feedback that you appreciate when they do something. Again, if you're always getting hit, you finally at some point just say, what? Why do anything, man? It just, we're going to get yelled at no matter what, So Phil here, we got Cocaine Cat, Yakumo. So Phil is always good, so if you ever need to know where those are, either watch my video or Phil puts them usually in the first comments, and inevitably you'll watch like 3 or 4 comments down. Somebody will say, hey, what was that screenshot? And they won't look up at Phil. So this guy dislikes that fire extinguisher unrealistic. Like I said, it's a balancing thing. You're going to have some people who enjoyed the goofiness of being able to fly to space with a fire extinguisher. Frankly, for me, I'm glad it's gone. Hype building. What? Alright, so this guy, we have one. We have one. You can send on off. I literally just built it, didn't I? On the crane. All right, there we go. Like here, Phil's answering that as well. Why did you remove the fire extinguisher flying dislike? Again, like I explained, some people like the goofiness of it, some people don't. I'm glad they got rid of the fire extinguisher. I see this every week too. Some of these guys are consistently like trying to get them to talk about carrier command. So this is what I'm going to do here. A little bit passive aggressive, but we're going to do it here. Carrier command 2. There we go. Carrier command 2 right there. All right, we'll go to carrier command. We'll go to community hub on carrier command. And then we'll do discussions. We'll copy the tag on that. And we'll respond to this guy too. Alright, there we go. I gave him the link to the carrier command forum, so hopefully these guys don't spam the wrong forum. It bugs me that, like, it's a different game, right? It's like, you don't go in other games, forums, and, you know, talk about that game there. It's like, go to the proper place, man. It's like, all you're doing is you're coming and whining in a different games forum. It's like, go somewhere, go to where you're supposed to be, man. Alright, let's see. I said hi to Manda. Thank you for letting me know about the update, man. I appreciate that. And also, Will, appreciate that. Both of you sending me that. Thanks for letting me know, Will. I've been poorly controlling OBS today. I keep clicking the thing wrong. How's it going there, Sergeant? Yeah, this is a good comment by David. Some folks don't quite understand that if you want somebody to do better, don't actively tear them down and make them feel belittled. That's why I am seen as toxically positive with the game, is, one, I want the game to be better. Of course I do. I openly acknowledge to you guys during these live streams that the devs do things that are not good, in my opinion. But I don't act like an asshole about it, you know? And that's how you get stuff done, is if you're a jerk, nobody wants to deal with you. And eventually, you're such a jerk that they say, you know what, screw it. We're not interested in this anymore. You know, we get yelled at no matter what we do, screw it. You know, and we don't want them, or I don't want them, to say screw it. I want them to continue to build the game. It's not ass-kissing, right? I'm not a sycophant. There are, you know, I don't say, oh, anything the devs, there are literal sycophants in the community who will say, you know, the devs, I would support the devs no matter what. I wouldn't. Like, if the devs did something so egregious and bad, I wouldn't support them. You know, I support them because they haven't done anything that egregious and bad, and most of what they do is perfectly reasonable. You know, they do some things that aren't wise here and there, but for the most part, they do some pretty reasonable things. They make mistakes here and there, but they're mistakes. We all make mistakes, you know, so they shouldn't be shit on for that, you know. And they get constantly ripped apart every week, and so again, it's kind of it's a balancing point again. You know, I see them every week getting a disproportionate amount of hate. And part of it is if you're enjoying the game and you're playing the game, generally you're not ranting all day on the internet, you're playing the game. And very rarely does somebody have a good time and then go leave a good review or a good word. It's kind of expected that things go right, at least in the Western world. And so you don't give them their pat on the back sometimes when they do it right. And that's a problem because they definitely get their slap every time they do it wrong. And so they need their little pat on the back every once in a while, and that's why I do it, you know, is because I constantly see just hate. And they need that pat on the back every once in a while. All right, so we've got the ship going pretty well here. So venting is in for those who just joined. Vented the tanks. Ballast got put in from Triton. Fuel equalization. We have air venting comes up here to vent the tanks. To let the air pressure vent through. Let's see what else we want here. Crane controls. Let's continue to work on that. All right, let me make sure everything is hooked. I think we're good. Okay, so let's see. We want to set up a bunch of control stations. So let's go up there, zang. All right, so let's do... If I move anything, it's going to screw it up. So I'm just going to add some nodes. One of them. There we go. All right, so this is going to be controls. Let's do base station. All right, so that'll be the base station. Then these are going to be some other stations. So we'll have one composite input bridge station. And then, I don't know where else we'll put it, but we'll start with those two. And then what we'll do is, let me see. Trying to see how to do a multi-composite here. Could do just switch box. I don't want to do switch boxes. Could just do a bunch of switch boxes. That's something I could do. I'll start with that for now, and then I'll work on it later. Let's read a little more chat here. Imagine if the corporate world got a hold of a concept, people working better with praise than exactly. It's a lot of businesses just, they think that they're going to beat their workers into submission. It's part of layoffs too. Like, they'll do these layoffs, they'll do these cost-cutting things. They think, oh, if we scare the worker, they'll work harder. I pretty much exclusively work for, there's a couple companies I work for non-union, but I pretty much only work for union companies. And part of the reason is, the company is always going to treat you like garbage. And, you need to, why is this not going up? Why is that not releasing? It's not releasing? Here's, okay, why are we stuck here? Alright, we're getting Phantom Forces there. I gotta work with this here. Probably because 6 is not set up right. Let me see. Let's see, click U. 6 didn't get set up right. Push, let me check this. You see how the connections are. That's their release. They're constantly beating their employees instead of saying, hey, good job today. Because the problem is when you walk out of work and you put a lot of work in that day, and even if they don't give you shit, if they just when I've had bosses say, hey, you did a good job today, it means something. It shows that, you know what? Today sucked. Today was a tough day, but they acknowledged that, you know what? It was a tough day, and you got through it, and you helped the company out, and they said thank you. And that means a lot. And a lot of corporate structures just shit on the worker constantly, and that's what a union's good for. Is, union jobs, especially if you have a good union, we don't take shit from anybody, and that's what's good. Is, the workers need their own representation to be like, nope, not getting shit on today. And, and it's a bad strategy. And it's the same thing with, I saw a YouTube short that was cool. It was this professional Dota streamer. He got banned for toxicity. He was constantly, yelling at people in Dota matches and just being an absolute jerk. And Blizzard, they gave him a loot crate for Christmas. He opened it up. It looked like a present. It was a piece of coal with his ban. And because it was in the terms of service that if you're a jerk, we can kick you out. And I think more companies need to do that. And, somebody was talking about it it was right around when the major update came out and people were, giving death threats to the devs. More companies need to be like, listen, dude, if you're going to be an absolute asshole constantly, you're gone. We don't need your business. Go away. And people act that with video games like, oh my god, how dare they? I bought this. Well, same thing happens in a store. Try going into a store and yelling and screaming at the people behind the counter. See how that works out for you. They're going to kick you out. They're going to call the cops if you won't leave. You're going to be banned for life from that store. They're going to tell you never come back. If you come back, you're trespassing. We're going to call the cops. That is normal in the regular world. But for some reason in video games, people think they can get away with anything. And it's pretty disgusting, frankly. That's why we're here. That's it right here, 6. Okay. You know, it's pretty disgusting in video games that people think they can get away with that. And so, frankly, some people in this community I see who literally, they announced they stopped playing the game a long time ago. They haven't booted up the game in years. But literally, they come back every week and complain and throw a tantrum in the chat, in the forums. And frankly, the devs just need to be like, see you later, dude. You know, we're not interested in your crap anymore. See you later. I know what's up with this now. Okay. You know, they need to do that. They need to just like, you know what, dude, see you later. You're done. You know, they don't owe you a refund for some of these things. A lot of it is in terms of service, that if you're just a prick, you're gone. You know, and it should be. It's like, you know, you go in a store, you buy a sandwich, right? You bought that sandwich, and then you go back and you start abusing the staff. They have every right to kick your ass out. They don't have to refund your sandwich. Your sandwich is gone, man. You know, and you don't get another one. You know, you're a prick, you're gone. And so I think more companies, more online companies need to do this, because people think they can be absolutely toxic and miserable online without any consequence. And you couldn't do it in real life. And that's kind of my strategy, is if I couldn't get away with it in real... Oh, Jesus, that's... Why is that resetting? I gotta fix that, but that's way too fast. But let's see. You know, it wouldn't be tolerated IRL. It shouldn't be tolerated in the gaming world, frankly. Pitch right here. Increment 0.001. Min 0. Reset value 0. What is that? Okay, that's not what we want. We don't want that. That will go there. Okay, update that. You know, so I'm glad Blizzard did that with Dota. It's like, because like some of these people, they get all I don't know. They see themselves as the most important people in the community. And the problem is their bullshit can sometimes, I'm not talking about many people in this community, but like Dota. Dota was notoriously negative. And like you would get in a match with some random people and you'd go in there and you just want to have fun. And you have people yelling at you and it ruined the fun. And so, guess what? You know, one person being a jerk could ruin the experience for 10 people. So you lost 10 customers because one guy was going to be a jerk. So it's in the business's best interest to say goodbye to that jerk and just be like, see ya, dude. Don't need you. We'd rather have the 10 people who know how to behave themselves. And the problem is people think that because they're online, they can behave however they want. And I think we need more companies to be like, nope, you're not welcome here. Just reading some chat, guys. Funny thing is how folks start calling it censoring when the devs do ban people for... yeah, exactly. People have no... It's funny. I love it. I booted... or I didn't even boot them. I warned them on my Discord that I didn't want them... They were calling other people on my Discord names. Okay? That's what they were doing. I literally can count the number of people I've banned from my Discord on one hand. I am generally pretty good. I've let people come back. I forget who it was, but like somebody sent me a message. They're like, hey man, I was a jerk one day. I got banned. I was being a prick. You know, I was having a really bad time, and I acknowledge that. If you let me back, I'll behave myself. If not, I understand it. And I let them back, and they've been perfect ever since. They've never had a problem. You know, we all have bad days, and you know, and then you have other people who are just constantly jerks, and it's better to, frankly, get rid of them. And that, like David's saying, is they'll call it censorship, and it's not. You know, my favorite is you'll usually get this line, too. They'll go, what about my First Amendment rights? And people have a very skewed understanding of First Amendment rights. Here are the Discord rules. So be kind, avoid profane language. You can say it, but it's just, I don't want it like literally one guy that I finally did ban, if I searched fuck in the search, his name came up almost every time. It would be like him, somebody else. Him, somebody else. Him, somebody else. And I warned him 7 times for using a couple words that I would rather not see. And I was like, dude, could you not use that word? 7 times. And then finally, I told him, dude, this is the last time I hear that word out of you if you want to stay here. And then he, did the standard thing of, what about my First Amendment rights? and it's like your First Amendment rights protect you from the government, and it allows you to say whatever you want in the government, in the public square. This is not the public square. This is the same as my living room. This is my Discord server. This is my living room. I get to set the rules. And Discord in general is Discord's living room. And if I violate Discord's rule, they have every right to kick me out. And if anyone violates my rules, I have every right to kick them out because it's my living room. Like, I could have a rule in my house that if you don't wear a green shirt, you get kicked out. And I have every right to do that in my house. It doesn't violate your First Amendment right. Because the government doesn't come and arrest you for wearing a green shirt. They come and if you don't leave my house when I ask you to. You know, you can not wear your green shirt and you can completely be fined by the government. You know, it's the First Amendment protects you from the government for obvious reasons, historically. You know, so like here are my rules here. They're pretty reasonable. You know, and so like generally I'm usually pretty lenient with stuff, and I write down notes of like how many times somebody's violated something, and it's usually like you get like 7 warnings most of the time before I'm finally and I'll give you a final warning. I'll be like, hey dude, last time, are you done? You know, and then you'll get that, you know, you violate my First Amendment rights or censorship. It's like, that is not what any of that means. Censorship is you being censored by the government. That is the government telling you, hey, you can't say elephant. You say elephant, the government comes, they arrest you, they put you in jail for saying elephant. That is censorship. That's a violation of the First Amendment. All right. Now, if I say you can't say elephant in my house, right, then, and you come and say elephant in my house, I ask you to leave. If you leave, nothing happens to you. If you don't leave, I call the police and say, hey, this dude won't leave my house. I've asked him to leave. He won't leave. They say, get out of his house or we're going to arrest you for trespassing. If you still don't leave, you get charged with trespassing, not for saying elephant, you know. All right, so crane's working pretty well here. So this is going to have a bunch of different things we can add on here. So I think what I'll do is I'll work on like a container handler. So let's work on that next. So then we have, if I press the space bar, we get that. So this was actually what this person on the weekly update was asking for. So I'll just go through it in case any of you guys are wondering. So like if we look at the weekly update here, this person here goes, where is it? When will Stormworks have a cable that transmit data, for example, on-off? We can already do that. And that's what I did to make this work here. Let's see, display cap. So if we go in here, that's what I'm doing here. It's pretty simple. If we look on the node of the winch, right here there is an on-off node. So you can send on-off information. So what I did here was this triggers the on-off. Where is it? Right here. Right here triggers the on-off. And then what happens is it will automatically trigger the on-off input here. So all you do is take the on-off input and you connect it to whatever you want to go on-off. Bingo, you can send it through. If you wanted to send it as composite, you can send composite. You go here, if you look, oh, there's a composite node. We have composite input right here. So there's composite input, there's composite output. So I can send data through the winch. I can also send data through here. So you can send data through a cable. This is how we do our trailers and everything else. Yeah. So there's a bunch of things you can do with that. So it's already in game. Let's save this real quick. I don't know what I was going to do next. Okay, let's go ahead. And if we look at a container, so the one thing we're missing on the ability to do container handling is the ability to rotate. And so we're going to add that on there as functionality. Let's see how I want to do this. Okay, so let's make another... we'll put storage racks in here. I like having these storage racks. Are fun, I think. Okay, let's go ahead and let's see where I want to put my storage racks here. For now, I'm just going to do this. Make it pink, and then I'll just, this way I can color swap it out. We'll put storage rack like that for now. We'll go ahead and we'll grab this. Oh, come on. Give me the right one. There we go. Being obnoxious. All right, there we go. Let's grab this one. Cut. Paste that. We want to do cable. Okay, and then what I want to do is put on a rotor on here. So let's see how I want to rotate this. I'll plumb in there. Let's see. See, this makes it very large, unfortunately. Again, the pivots are way oversized. Let's go like that. Okay, so that will be there. All right, good. So this is going to be, if we look here, we have on-off here. So we have release. So what we'll do is right here, the on-off output from 1 will go to the release of that. And then we need to rotate here. So we can do one of two things. Let's see. So we'll pass a composite through. This is getting bulkier than I like, but we kind of have no choice here. So I want to put a rotor on there. Let's see. I did not grab a blank microcontroller. There we go. Okay. Nope, doesn't need to be 3, does it? Just 1. 2, rather. All right, so this is going to read, this is going to take a composite input. This is going to take a number output. So this is going to do that very thing that person's asking for. And this is going to be output. This is rotation. Rotation. All right, and then we'll go in here and we'll take this. And so this will be our function controller. So this will be, we'll do 3, 4. So we'll read on off. Yeah, but unfortunately, like, until people start paying for their misbehavior in an online setting, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people are just never going to, just never going to, you know, behave themselves, frankly, and it sucks, but that's what's going to happen, you know? Let's see, there we go. Enabled, -0.01. Okay. 3, 4 goes to rotation there. You know, and they act as though if you're asked to leave their store, which is exactly what they're doing. They're telling you, "Hey, leave my store. You're no longer welcome in my store." That somehow you're violating their rights, and it's just not the case, you know. You know, you can certainly be asked to leave somebody's store IRL for any reason. You know, just being a jerk, tell you, get out of my store. You know, pretty normal. You know, and they act as though you do it in an online setting. They're somehow, oh my God, they're violating my rights. Think, no, man, they're asking you to leave their store like they would in any other context. All right, so we'll take the composite from here. That will go there, and then we'll take the rotation. We'll go there. Electricity goes from this cable here to here to excuse me, to there. We could just put this upside down. I could drop a little height off this. Could do that. Here, let's do this. We'll attach it to the bottom. Okay, we'll do that. We'll go like this. Cut you. Go up there. Like that. There we go. Let's do that. And then this we'll just do electricity all the way through. Check electricity on the winch itself. As the winch is electrified, as long as the winch is electrified, that will get electrified. Okay, good. Could make this kind of an omni connector, but we'll go with this for now. And then what we'll do is put a hanger of like that. All right, let's go ahead and we'll color swap this out. I don't want a pink anymore. All right, there we go. Let's grab this. Do we have release? I hooked up release, correct? Yep. Okay, good. All right, good. We'll cut this and we'll rotate it. All right, so that'll be our new container handler there. Let's make sure we put in functionality here on the seat. So 3-4 is going to be F1, F2. So function 1 and 2, these are going to be pushes there. All right, that should be good. And then what we'll do here is we'll go in here, and then this one will get a composite out. Composite output. Let's see, to winch. All right, so this will be our function composites here. Bridge, that one we'll work with later. And then what we'll do here is whatever we end up hooking all these together, we'll just go there as a pass-through. And then so every seat command can be utilized for that. And then this goes right here to this winch. And then this one does nothing. The other one's primed and connected. Yeah, exactly. Like David's saying, you know, in-store terms of service are generally much more stringent than online, and it's true. And it's, you know, most people wouldn't behave in public the way they do online. And so it's kind of my general rule is if I wouldn't do this in public, I'm not doing it online. You know, because, you know, you don't look like a hero, you look like an asshole, you know, and if you don't want to look like an asshole, behave yourself, you know. And it's like, would you yell at somebody in real life? No. Why? Because you're afraid you're going to get punched in the face, you know. And so, you know, would you go and, you know, call Deltar's names in person? You know, no, because you might get punched in the face, you know, or you might end up in court, you know. And so generally a lot of people will just behave themselves because they're afraid of the consequences. They think they're online, they have no consequences. It's why people will SWAT people. Like, they'll call the SWAT department on people. You know, the SWAT department will shoot people's dogs if, you know, if they get swatted. Sometimes, you know, they'll, you know, people could theoretically get, you know, killed doing this stuff. You know, it's a big deal, and people do it online because they see there's no they think there's no consequence for it. You know, it's a felony to do that, but people still do it. It's like the Wild West online. It's gross, frankly. I might do a quick connect on this, but anyway, so this, I can grab this, toss that on the dirt, grab this one, toss that on the dirt. You know, usually I like to have a nice little setup of these so I can use a bunch of them. What are we talking? This one? Yeah, that one. Okay, and then you come in here, you grab this off the rack, you just drop it. Oh, crap, I can't pick this up. Okay. This one I can't pick up. You need the other part to grab. You can't grab the hard point. You can grab the other part. Shite. But what we can do is this for now. Do that. All right, and then what I want to do is, let's see. Let's go ahead and set a length on this. Oh, I can't set the length on the cable. Shit. I thought I could. I can't. Okay, so I need to make a multi-point. I forgot you can't do that. You can set a rope length, but you can't set a cable length. So what you can do is try to reel these all the way into max reel. So what we'll do is this. I'll probably set up a quick connect. It's going to be more convenient. And then we'll go up here. And we will retract these until it stops. Alright, so see it stopped. Now they should be equal length. And we should be able to drop them. As you can see, it's equal length. So not too bad to get that set up. So I think I'll put a quick connect on these. The other thing with that is, oh, I didn't press 6, did I? The nice thing with the, let me make sure I can rotate this. So 3, 4. Ah, you son of a bitch. What's it doing now? It's not rotating. Is it? It's trying. It might just be ultra slow. It's just super slow. I put the rate too slow. Okay. We're going to change this up to a quick connect anyway. What's the small vehicle? I don't know what you mean. Let's see. Alright, so let's make this into a quick connect. I'm trying to think of the best way to quick connect this sucker. Hardpoints are okay. The problem with the hardpoint, though, is they're a little bit flexible. We'll see if it's too flexible. So let's just grab this for right now. Oh, you psalm bitch, you. Bufati Justice here. Let's go ahead and we'll cut that. That's from Smoking the Bandit, if you're unfamiliar. Alright, and then we will, I'll go ahead and detach the ropes in a second here. Well, I'll just reattach something else. So I want a quick connect, so let's go hard point. These hard points are big, too. Like, I don't mind some of the stuff being big, but that's a little bit on the large side there, guy. Let's cut that again. Move that down. One like that. Now let's go. So there's going to be a quick connect, so hopefully with these modules, it will be a lot easier to attach them. Let's see. Cables. Alright, so that's the quick connect there. And then, so this will we'll fix the cables on that, like so. Electricity is going to go from, just go like that. And then we want to go from composite here to composite there. And then on-off is going to go from here to release. Alright, and then all functions will be sent through the composite. Alright, so that is good, and then we need to get our rotor here fixed. So our rotor is donked up. So we'll play with this rotor a little bit here. You suck. Alright, the way I grabbed it was not good. Okay. I forgot to grab the cables. Oh, come on, man. Stop grabbing the back wall. There we go. You're pissing me off. Alright, get there. Alright, keep grabbing the back wall. Alright, so this will go like that. Could put a rotation on there. I don't know. Do I want to put a rotation on here? Nah, I don't think so. I want to keep the quick connect as because the problem is this here can cause instability. So I'm trying to lift something big and that has one of these pivots. It could be too much, so I'm going to paste that there. This has to, unfortunately, this microcontroller is going to have to be stuck out here a little bit. Not the end of the world. Let's go like that. Get rid of the cable anchors, and then this is only a 2-banger, right? Yeah, this is only a 2-bang, so this can go down. 1. Okay. Okay, that will go like that, and then we'll do a hard point. There we go. Oh, come on, stop doing that. All right, there we go. That's on there, and then, so this one here, I'm going to change the rate. The rate was nuts. It was super slow. Let's go 10 times faster on that. Because this is a rate of turn. It's not how fast it's moving, so. All right, and then let's make sure this is still plumbed up. So this needs to go from here to there, and then that will be to rotor there, and then electricity. We need to plumb that like so. Okay, good. That should work now, unless I screwed something up, which is possible. Potentially even likely. All right, so that is now plumbed in. All right, let's hope we're good here. All right. I don't need that open. Why did I open it? Don't know. I don't need any of them open. I was going to open the other one, but I don't need to. All right, so this is hanging now. That is our module. So this will make it easier to grab the modules. I just hook them up to the hard point. So 6. All right. So testing the rotation here real quick. You're not rotating? I can't tell. No, see it rotating. Yes. All right, let's check it. See what's up. Something's up. All right, composite is coming off of here into there. 3, 4 should be set to push. 3 is push. 4 is push. Okay, let's check in here first. All right, so here is 2 winch. Okay, that goes to the winch. And that's going to read out the base station, which is the seat. That's going to read out 3, 4 there. All right, that's going to come over here through the winch. It does right there. Then it goes in from here to the hardpoint composite data send. That's receive. Receive goes to here. That goes to then to here. Okay, what do you set up as? You're a compact velocity pivot max power. Okay. It's going to read 3 and 4. Cable info 3, 4.01. Okay, this could be it right here. Let's do 0.1. See how it rotates for me. Could just be way slow. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're rotating. It was just the rate was too slow. Okay, there we go. Why is it not stopping is the question now. I didn't put a reset on it, that's why. Okay. Needs a reset on there. That needs to be on here. Screw that. Where are we at here? Mana. Okay, right there. Not X or Y. Right. All right, there we go. Now it stops. I didn't put the reset on there. 6. The garage under the helipad is for the winch. The winch is in there. So let's see, we want to go rotation. Let's bring it in, up and down. Okay. No, I didn't mean to click that, you son of a bitch, you. Let's see how far off I am. Pretty close. Check that, see if it's set to release. Let's see. Hi, up, good. Did it just grab? It literally just grabbed when I got on my seat. Okay. Just needed a second. Okay. I didn't set the release button up for the these pads, so that's gonna be grabbed. I need to fix that. Okay. Let's put something on there for now. So we'll add this functionality here to this panel. We're going to add a bunch of functions. This is going to be a big old panel, so let's add that there. So we want yeah, this is going to be a big panel. So let's see. This is going to be an on-off output. This is going to be container breaks. Okay, container breaks, and then we want output port container release, port container release. Starboard container release. Figure out the other one in a second here. So real simple. Container breaks is just going to be a constant on. Not container release. Container breaks, rather, is a constant on. Because I always want the brakes on that. So that will just be a constant on right there. It's fine. That can go for later. Starboard port. Trying to get as much of this on the seat as possible, so we'll see. We use 3, 4. We have 5 and 6 left. Functions. I might want to put these as panels, but at least for now, I'll put them as 5, 6. 6 is used. Shiza. All right, I'll make them as panels. Yeah. I'll plumb the panel into. Crane panels. Okay, so this will be crane panels 1 and 2. We'll go ahead and release these 2. And I think we'll do these as a, let's do this, go 1. 1. Put a 30-second reset on these. Put a pulse on there because it's going to be a push button. Okay, and then we want to put a timer. Let's see. Timer will reset when off. We'll plug it here then. Let's see. Container. Reset. Timer. Do 30 seconds on that. Alright, and then 2 is going to be all this crapola. Right there, like so. And this will go to... where did I just put that? Right here. Okay, this goes there. Okay. That can go, and this will go like that. Okay. Right there. Alright. So that should let us release those containers. I'll check chat in a second, guys. Let's do a panel. Port. Kind of get back to the swing of things. It was nice to take a little break from the game. Again, I'm a big advocate for if you're bored or you're not having a good time, take a break. It's like I couldn't think of things I wanted to do, or I didn't want to get into the minutia of doing some of the stuff, and now I'm enjoying getting back into it. So, read some of this chat. Yep, yeah, I like all the different ways. Yeah, I don't like doing diagonal lines on my controllers. That's a big thing. That's a big thing for me. Try not to do diagonals. Just aggravates me. Alright, that goes to crane panels there. What happened to this winch? I moved it. So if you move a panel, sometimes you have to dick with it. Alright, so that is good. Then we need to hook these up. So this is going to be container brakes. These are always going to have the brakes on, because I don't want them sliding around, so I need to find them. They're kind of a pain in the ass to find. There we go. Brake. Brake, 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 brake. Alright, good. Those are all in. And then we have port container release. So that's these. Release. 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 Starboard container release. What was your question, CG, about why I didn't use a nut block? Release container for star. Port container release. Those four. Star container release. Those four. We hooked up the rest of them? Yeah, okay. So let's go give this a run. What's that? Okay, we're all hooked. All right. So now this container shouldn't slide around. You saw the last one slide around because the brakes started off. Now they start on, so this is stuck. You know, it's not going to move. But here, I'll show you what's in the garage, seeing you asked that as well. This is the garage for the winch. So the winch is in here, and then it comes out and it goes to a pulley. It's going to be a bunch of different things. So like if I want to tow, this will go straight down the back. If it's going to go between the containers, the cable will go between the containers to another winch housing, or another pulley housing. Then there's also going to be an attachment that will go right here, and it will be an A-frame that will go over the back of the ship. So if I'm lifting up something really heavy, you would go over the back of the ship, and you can use the big winch to lift it up, because it's, you know, in practice it's not more powerful, but it should be more powerful. But also, the boat is like, you can't lift too much weight off the side because the boat's thin, it's going to tip over. But lifting it from the rear, you have to lift the entire mass of the boat straight up. You have a long lever arm, you have a lot of torque, it's not going to lift it up. So we're going to add an A-frame attachment possibility on there. That way we can put like submarine in the back, stuff like that. Alright, so let's hook this up. I don't know what you're talking about there, CG. I understand it because it makes it... I don't know what you're talking about. How's it going there, Rasmus? Good to see you. All right, let's get this attached. Let's rotate. So yeah, I love having these functions because it allows you... You get this in a lot of, like, say a Bobcat. You'll have different functions. And so, like, you put on a broom, right? You turn on one of your functions, it will turn on the hydraulics, and it will spin the broom. And then, you know, if you hook up a... say you have a bucket that has a high tip on it, you know, so you can have a separate function for high tip, you know. So this way it makes it versatile. All right, let's go ahead and we'll go port. And did that? Okay, so see, it released it. Now in 30 seconds, that should reset it so that I don't have to push the button again. The button is... I don't need to push the button again. After 30 seconds, this should, like... I'm going to get out of the seat real fast. We can see it. Fuck off. You see release connector true, so after 30 seconds, that should reset, so we'll see what it says in 30 seconds. Alright. But this will allow me to rotate it, so like I don't want to hit the crane arm, so we're going to rotate this to spin it out so it doesn't hit the crane arm. So this gives us the rotation ability here, so that will keep us from hopefully hitting things. We can have a little bit more control over it. But you notice the nice thing with hard points is they have a little give. Notice this does not weigh enough to have much give. So see, it's not really... It looks like it's firmly established in the hard point. That's the nice thing with the hard points, is you can actually see it on the container though. Like here. See on the container, it's slacking a little bit. It's not quite in the channel, and that's a benefit. Like here, watch me shake it. See how it shakes? That keeps us from having problems where you get a couple of movable objects that don't want to interact with one another. Since Rasmus just got here, my favorite thing of today's update, no more black dots in the sky. So love it for screenshots. All right. So let's check, make sure this has reset itself. It has. So see, the release connector is false now. So after 30 seconds, that will make it so that I can just put it back. So instead of me having to push a button again to re-adhere the container, I can take this one off, I can drop it, I can grab a new one, and then I can go ahead and put another one on there without having to worry about... I can put another container right on that slot without having to do it. It's kind of the same thing with fifth wheels. You know, I don't have to reset it because a fifth wheel, you pull the handle when you pull off of the trailer, it auto resets for the next time. So you don't go out there and pull the handle again. You just hook up to a trailer. And so the same thing with this is like what you would do with a lot of these things is you release the latches, and then when it comes off, it's ready to receive the container again. You know, some of them you do have to latch and lock, but others you don't. Okay. So it's kind of cool. And then with this function system, I'm going to be able to add a bunch of stuff. So different types of tools that can do different jobs. So, like theoretically, we could put a welder on here if we need to do repairs. You know, underwater, we could do that. So, shit, I keep hitting the wrong keys. It's just my issue. Okay, I keep hitting the wrong keys trying to get this to stop because I changed the key binds. I'll get used to it here. That goes this way. I'm just trying to work this and learn which way this will go. There we go. It's going to spin back. So we kind of want to set the cables up, align them to where I want, and the container will follow. It's going to just take the tension out of the cables. The tension's what's aligning this. So like I want to align it like that. Probably backwards to that, so it'd be like that. There we go. Yep. So that's going to rotate it the correct direction. Just takes a little bit of time getting used to it. All right, and then we can go up and down. Up, up, up and up. I did up and up instead of up and down. Again, new control scheme. Always gets me. I went backwards with this, but here, let's go the other way. I'm putting a braking force on it with the cable tension here. Could also go kick this with our body a little bit too. You would do guide wires IRL because you'd have other people helping you. So for example, you'd go like this and then you'd come down and all it would take is one dude to like bump the corner, and even though the container's heavy, you'd be able to move it with one person with a cable. Usually they usually put a rope on there, a guide rope. Let's go left and then we'll go down here a second. Okay, there we go. I forgot that toggle. All right, there we go. We'll go out a little bit. Trying to get this. This will grab eventually. I'm just trying to get it right. I like spending the time, you know, getting good at the cranes. That's part of what I find to be rewarding, is getting good at the machines, you know. Why I like, you know, again, why I don't like a ton of automation is it takes the operation away from you. Shit. So that grabbed the other side. It's not the end of the world, but it's not great. We want to release that side. There we go. And it just grabbed. Okay, good. So we are, I think, pretty much aligned. It's a little bit off. Let me see if I can't really slide it too much, but it's grabbed. I'm happy with it. All right, let's see if I want to get the tension off this. Put a little slack in the lines. All right, now we'll press that up. That did the wrong thing. Okay, so I need to put a function in to drop the hard point because I don't want to drop the that one. All right, so we'll add that in. Actually, I could do it by hand, but we'll figure out something for that function. We'll probably put it on here. I'll probably put a function set on there. Let's read some chat. Yeah, I know he's talking about the lines. It was something else. I was asking what he meant with Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Okay, I misread. Yeah, like I always do this. I don't like the diagonal lines if I can get them straight, and then it makes it easy to find stuff. Looks like coherent, you know. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Nothing's finished. What else is new? Yeah, let's look at the update again really quick. We'll just look at the patch notes of it. But, yeah, good update. Good bug fixes on there as far as I'm concerned. Some things that we've been wanting. The big ones, let's see. For me, at least. Winch speed is back on the winches. So, that was... Citrus had the most popular request for that. Again, that was like 34 people starred that. So the devs addressed something because people starred it, you know, and they consolidated it, wasting their time instead of us consolidating it. So that was good, though. Winch speed is back on the winches and no longer on the rope hooks. Let's see. Skybox rendering issues. We had those black dots, which were the actual visual elements for the stars. Those are now transparent. Stars still work, but they're transparent during the day because I was having to delete them all when I would make a screenshot. The other thing that I was actually complaining about last episode, which they fixed here, was reduced fire extinguisher force. You can still push yourself around in space with the fire extinguisher because of the zero gravity, but on land, it's not as bad. So that's good as far as I'm concerned. I was kind of like, it made it so it was tough to fight fires. It was just a pain in the ass to fight fires, and that sucks, you know. Here, let's go test it out. I haven't tested it yet, but so like if you would jump like you would get burned, so you'd be trying to jump on the boat and you'd start to get burned, so you'd try to start putting out some water to hopefully stop yourself from getting burned, and it would push you back into the water, and so it was just frustrating. And so you did get some people complain that, oh my god, why'd you take that out? I wanted to fly to space with my fire extinguisher, or I like dicking around. So that's a balancing thing. So like, notice, see, I can jump, and like you would in real life, the fire extinguisher would not pick you up, right? So they fixed that. I'm thrilled with that. You did get a bunch of complaints. We'll look at them. We'll look at them. They're valid to the extent of everybody has the different way they want to play. Some people want to play cartoon goofy, which is fine. Some of us want to play realistically. And so, you know what? We're not always going to get what we want. So it was a balancing choice. They decided, you know what? The devs decided they wanted to be more realistic, and they got rid of it. And that's, hey, you know what? It sucks if you like it the other way, but there's plenty of things that I don't like that I don't get. But, we all get some of the things we want, and we get some things we don't. Like, here's one. I can't go to space with a fire extinguisher anymore. Dislike. So a couple people, why'd you remove the fire extinguisher flying? Dislike. I'm glad they did. I put it in there. I said I'm glad they did. So you see a balance there, and that's why, unfortunately, as much as this can be a negative place, and I don't like dealing with Steam forums, and I don't like dealing with Reddit too much, one reason I still go there is, like, imagine if you had this guy, and 20 other people who are like, oh, it sucks you took out fire extinguisher. Well, maybe the dev's like, oh, maybe we'll put it back then. But if you have, 20 people who say, hey, we want to be able to fly to space with fire extinguishers. Then you have 40 people say, hey, no, you know what? We would like some realism so we can actually play the game and fight fires and not get blown off our ship while we're trying to, just put out a fire. And you see 40 people want the fire extinguishers to not push you around unrealistically on Earth. And then 20 people do. The devs can easily, hey, the majority of people wanted this change, So it's that's why it's better to go there, so it's not an echo chamber. Let me see. Steam engines still don't work like they used to. Devs, fix your game. Steam engines are not going back. So So I just wrote, they work differently now. Adapt to the new way. We're not going back. Unlikely. It's very unlikely that they go back. As I've showed by, my Steam tutorials, they work. They're intuitive. They're fine. You can make it work. This is a Steam ship. They work. It's not a devs fix your game. This person just doesn't want to change anything, and so instead of actually learning how to make something, they want to complain about it, Let's see. See, like, here's another person who doesn't like the fire extinguishers, but hey, there's always going to be a balance. Some people want this game to be a cartoony cartoon fest with krakens and instant ship sinking, and some of us want it more realistic, and so they try to come up with a balance. We have krakens and we have fire extinguishers that don't shoot you into space. That's a balance, Just reading some of this. So this is interesting to me. So Fox's comment, really big announcement. So fishing major update next week. Now I don't, again, I'm not one for building hype, but I certainly wouldn't say definitively fishing by any stretch of the imagination, but would it surprise me if it was an announcement of what the major update is going to be? No, it would not surprise me, and this is kind of the reason. I'm not going to bring up my calendar. I was going to, but let me bring up a calendar. Calendar 2024. Okay, here's a calendar. I don't want to bring up my calendar. But here's January 2024. Actually, we want the other one. So here we are, midway through January 2024. They said there are going to be 4 major updates, right? So that, if you put that on a quarterly system, let's say end of March, end of June, end of September, end of December. So that would be 4 major updates. Now, it's unlikely to get it end of December because a holiday season. I find that unlikely. That tends to be, I think, why they finish in October. So let's say we rotate it to October, okay? So they finished the last one in October. So let's do close of year as October. So we'll move 2 months back. So if we say end of January, end of April, end of July, end of October are our 4 majors, right? That makes sense. We got October 12th last year was the major update in DLC. So let's say we have our 4 majors and they're on January, April, July, and October. It would make sense. Remember a couple weeks ago the devs said they don't want to announce things until they're in their final stages. So does it make sense to me that they're going to announce a major update 2 months out? No. So could it be announcing a major that will get January, February-ish time frame? Yes. Fishing, I don't know. That would make sense to me, but who knows? But that would be a big announcement. I would think would be a major update. So that makes sense to me. That would I like that comment by Fox. That's interesting, but a little bit hypey. But I don't try not to do hype. I'm just reading some chat here. I need to fix my own typo here. All right, good. So, yeah, I think today was a good fixes mostly. We're going to get, that announcement next week, so that'll be interesting to see. But I'm liking this. See, this was the problem is the fires burn you from a pretty good distance now. So if the fire was at the workbench, I would jump on the ship and start to get burned. So what I'd want to do is jump on the ship and start spraying to get the fire out so I don't get burned to death. And the problem is I would jump on the ship, and as soon as I jump, I would get blown back off. And it was friggin' frustrating. And I understand some people who don't play the game as is intended, like to be able to shoot up to space, but I think it's a reasonable balancing thing, They get their Kraken, I get my fire extinguisher that doesn't push me off of ships all day long, so it's a balancing act. But, if you like the new fire extinguisher thing, voice your opinion. If you don't, voice your discontent with it. But, let's see. I'm just reading this. I don't know what Dave's talking about. David's talking about there was an update. Why would something work the same if there was an update into a core mechanic? You mean with Steam? Is that what you're talking about? I just don't understand the context of it. I assume you're talking about one of those person's comments, but yeah. So this is working pretty well with the module system. I like making modules. Let's see if I can make some more. Let's see. We'll put that on there. What do I have on here? Let me count. All right, 1 and 2 are there. Okay, I think we'll be all right here. Let's do Shiza. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do 32 is occupied. Because I need the space. And then what is that? There's 3. Yeah, okay. 1, 2. Winch up, winch down. I think I'm going to change winch up, winch down. I'm not liking the way that's working either. So let's do... Let's do that. Do them as push... no, I don't like them that way. Keep them like that. That has problems that I don't like because you can overlap the buttons. Kind of annoying. Keep it like that. Alright, and then what am I doing with rotation there? 3/4 is rotation. Okay, so it's just invisible in here. And then... Alright, so we'll go to winch there, update that. Come in here, so function... so what do we have here? Let's make 6. This is going to be output, on, off. Let's see, release. What happened? Fuck. Okay, now that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. Okay, and then over here, I want this logic. Okay. So this is going to be the same thing. There's going to be release for the hard point on here to release the container. We're going to do the same timer reset on here. So it'll be 6, push, and then this will go to right there. Come on, come on, come on, please. There we go, and now we'll put a reset function on there. Nice. Okay, so that'll be on there, so we need to configure the seat. The seat's going to change to handles, and there'll be a couple handles. I might put the seat up in the bridge, but I'll decide. This is going to be a push, so crane lock release. It's going to be different. This is going to be, instead of crane lock release, this is going to be... I'm going to change some stuff up. F6. F5. These will be toggle, toggle. Okay, this here, and then we'll change them in there. Okay. Just change up some stuff here. So the extend retract is going to be changed to 1. 2 is going to be winches. So let's see. Okay, so we'll go. We'll make this on WS instead. So I want buttons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to be function buttons. So then this will go like that. Oh, stop it. Like that. Winch up and down. Okay, there we go. Oh, the other thing, Rasmus, was I think I read it. Speed is back on the winches. Yep, I think I did say that. All right, so that's hooked up correctly now. So we have functions 1 through 6, and so what I usually do with my function buttons is like these are going to be toggle toggles. So this is going to be F1. Function 1 is a toggle. Function 2 is going to be a toggle. So anything we need toggles will go on function 1 and 2. Function 3 is a function 3 is a push. Function 4 is a push. Function 5 is a push. Function 6 is a push. And that's because with logic, I can turn pushes into toggles. I can turn toggles into pushes, but I don't like it. So it gives me a couple hard toggles here, and then I could turn these into toggles if I needed them inside the logic. So that should be good. And then when I jump on the seat now, that should release the crane. Yep, see, it releases the crane. When I get out of the seat, it should grab it. See, it locked it back up. So to lock the crane, once I'm in the seat, I can move the crane. And it has to be pretty close to the hard point to grab. It's not like a connector, so like right now it shouldn't grab. You know, so you hear it's not grabbing it. But if I were to move it back into position, put the crane back in its default position, I can then jump off the seat, and that should probably grab. Yep, hear it grab as I fall off the boat. That just grabbed and locked the crane in position. The only position that needs that lock is this is a velocity pivot. So as the ship moves, this will sag back and forth. It will move on its own because it's just, it's not, it will maintain its new position, but it won't stay in the lock position. So that lock locks us there. Let's read some of this chat. Is it possible to use a non-closed loop steam engine? I think so. Let me run a test here. Should be able to. Let me grab here's Steam Tutorial Part 5. Alright, so currently we have a water here. I had a venting system somewhere in there. Let's go like this. Let's go ahead, put a gas relief on there because we don't want to draw a vacuum. Oh, stop it. Fluid port right here. And we can run this in the background here. Alright, so this would be essentially what Rasmus is asking here. And then what we'll do here is we will go fluid port here. You know what we should do though? We want no back. We don't want to escape any back pressure, so we'll go like this. I'll just put that on as a kind of a. Here, let's do this instead. We'll put a one-way valve on so that it can come out a little bit easier. All right, so let's try that. So Rasmus was asking, is it possible to not recycle your steam? So for example, if you wanted a tender. So let's see. How's it going there, Citrus? You see, Citrus, that your feature request got put in there? The winch speed's back on the winches. Yeah, a bunch of people have been asking for tenders. That's one of the reasons I'm looking for it. So I'm looking at it here too, is I want to make sure this works. Yeah, somebody was looking over my tutorials and said you don't need valves. I'm aware you don't need valves, but some of us like to valve the engine. Again, that's why it's there. Is it has internal valving. I like to do my own valving, so that's why I have valves. Yeah, it does internal valving. The devs initially, I think, were going to make it so you needed to do valving, but again, it's a balancing act. Do we scare away new players who are confused by the valves? So they put internal valving, and you can do valving yourself if you want, and that's why I do it, because I want to, you know. I want to control my own valve timing. That's why I did it. So, you know, not everything is to make it meta as perfect as possible. Some things are to do it because you like to do it, you know. All right, here we go. We're moving now. Right, so we expect our fluid volume to go down as it's converting water into steam. And then what we'll expect to do is, as necessary, it pretty much, my understanding is it's not going to control, it's not going to keep excess water in there. So let's see. Piss off whatever I'm walking on, stuck on. There we go. Notice though fresh water is going down there, Rasmus. Notice fluid volume is staying, it's staying stable. So it looks like it's going in there. We're losing a little steam value, but that could be because we're not pushing water in. We'll have to test it with that too. But you notice the water pressure is going down, or the water level is going down. So you could theoretically run it with without recycling your water, like having a tender on a steam locomotive. Yeah. You can see the fluid volume's going down and steam volume's going down, so it might be beneficial to push some water in there, to actually put a push on there. So notice our fluid volume's going down quite precipitously now, so we're probably going to have some issues here, but that might be because we're empty. It's sucking up a lot of water. Yeah, we're out of water, that's why. So yeah, you can see it does work theoretically. What I would do, let's do a quick like extreme test here. Let's go ahead and take this. We'll cut you and move you up 1. Let's go ahead and we'll take a liquid filter or liquid relief valve. Liquid relief valves are essentially liquid filters. They only let liquid out. That's what they're doing. Take you and we'll cut you off. We'll grab you, we'll just copy you, and we'll put a bunch of you. So we'll do gravity feed for now. There's no pressure assist. Normally there was a water pressure, a gas pressure assist. I took that off. That's what the relief valve is. That will show you if gravity is working. It is. So as you can see. You know, likely if we want to keep our fluid level constant, you could put a boost pump on there that pumps it in faster. So we'll test that too real quick, but tests don't take that long. So there's just a big stack of water, so it runs longer. So imagine that was your tender tank. It's using up water pretty fast though, so that's I'll try pressurizing the water here in a second too. You do need to put if you get any gas in there, you're going to have an issue where the gas will clog something. So what you want to do is have a gas relief on the outflow tool. We'll try that after this. Okay. Do not produce steam, get new water into the boiler. Yeah, Yoris Citrus, I went into the bug tracker. They consolidated all the duplicates and put them in yours. So, you know, and the whole point I was making was, you know, if you took all the duplicates and you consolidated them like they did, it would have been 34 stars, which is very popular. And as evidence, the very popular thing that people didn't like, what they did, myself included, they went and they reverted it because the community went to the right place and they, you know, and they starred that this was important to them, you know, and that's something that needs to happen, you know. All right, so Steam is no longer building, which is okay. So watch our Steam build rate. We are building a little bit of Steam. That's fine. It will go up to 60 plus. It was just over 60, I think, last time. So there we are. So let's see where we're at here. All right, so fluid volume is down 9s. Let's check this. All right, so if you look here, we have fresh water is draining into the system. So as it's being used up, it is slightly being used up. We're 1, 2, 3. We're 6 decimal places off. We're losing water. And that's causing the steam to go down because our water level is dropping. So we kind of expect that. If we're not putting enough water, we're not getting enough steam. So next thing I'll do is I'll try to see if I can put a little water pressure in there to keep that. See the fluid volume? I want to keep the fluid volume constant. Try to keep that fluid volume constant until we're out of water. But you notice we're, you know, we're holding on to quite a bit of water there, so still not bad. Like let's click these on real quick. See where we're running SWATs here. This will build up as those speed back up. you know, somebody didn't like my steam tutorial because, you know, I didn't care about steam pressure. I still don't care about steam pressure. Steam pressure, there's a bunch of ways you can test how your system is working. One of the ways is the output. So I did an output test. My output test was generator. And so I really don't care what the pressure is in here. It's irrelevant to me. What I care about is what the output is. Output to me is going to be electrical generation. It's going to be how fast it's moving a wheel, how much torque it has moving that wheel. That's all I care about. I care about the output. I don't really care about the pressure in here. Like, you know, if I got it perfectly up to 60, like you notice we're only at 28 atmosphere, sure, I could probably improve this system, make it 60, and get more output. But, you know, you can test your changes at output or you can test it in here, you know. So I don't really give a shit what the pressure is in here. I care about what the output is. You know, that's what I care about, you know. And that's why, it's a different type of method, you know. So we're dropping in fluid volume, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and try to pressurize this. We don't need all this water. All right, so this is one thing I'd recommend too. Take a pump. We don't need that much pressure, I imagine, because don't need that much pressure because it's only taking in a tiny bit of water at a time anyways. Let's pressurize this. This is where I think a lot of people are falling down as well. So that right there is liquid only, right? Let me check it. Here, let's do this. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. Let's delete one more. Okay. Let's take this pump and go like this. All right, so that's water. And then what I want to do is I want to go elbow, liquid. And I want to do T-piece. Oh, fuck off. T-piece, gas. Fluid. All right, so this is going to allow any excess gas to go through the pump and exit. And so it's giving only liquid here. Doing a system like this lets you relieve the system constantly. So I find that to be helpful. All right, electricity. I think we're on infinite electricity anyway. But all right, let's run this system. So this should pressurize your water. We'll see if we can because it's dropping below 99 and then the steam pressure is dropping off because the water is slowly coming off. It could be because we're not pressurizing that water into there. Let this go for a second. Created a jank way to use steam turbine rotation for train wheels. Oh, interesting. Alright, we should be cooking here soon. Yep, we just hit 100. Steam's building up. You know, that was like some of the criticisms of the Steam tutorials. Again, it was a basics to teach you the basics. That's why it's stormworks basics. Could I make a Steam system that always is at 60 atmospheres that's pushing out the 100% efficiency on my Steam? Sure. You know how you do that? Add a second boiler. Like right now we're making 35 atmospheres of steam with one boiler. Guess what 2 boilers would probably produce? 60. You know, so for this setup. You know, so again, that's not the point of a basics tutorial. A basics tutorial is to get you the basics so you can start. It's not that I cover every bit of minutia ever imagined. You know, that's not the plan, you know. So like I could put a second boiler, like if you look, steam out is 35 atmospheres. The most the piston can take is 60, right? So if I put a second boiler, it would then give me in excess of 60 atmospheres of steam, I would be at peak efficiency. But that was, again, not what the whole point of the tutorial was. The tutorial was to get people started, to show them that, yes, it is possible for you to still play your game with this. Go ahead, look at the fluid volume there, Rasmus. We're coming up on... okay, we might have a clog. We're lower than we were before, so let me see if we have a clog. We're doing pretty well, though. Look at our generators not dipping a tiny bit. But look at our steam, Rasmus. Steam is up. Steam is at 92. I think it was 60 before. We're still at 32 atmospheres of steam. We haven't really lost it, so it's pretty much, I think it's taken fluid when it needs it. We're dropping a little bit now. Let's see let's look at the pump and see what the pump looks like here. Pump is pushing 4 liters per second. Let's see. This is pushing out air. So there is air getting in the system. That's why I put an air relief valve. As you see, we are losing air volume at this point, which is good. That would clog it up. The problem is I think the air volume should be down here. So let's do this. Let's move this and see if this is where our clog is, because we are getting clogged somewhere. So let's go ahead. Let's assume the clog is here. And let's add one on and just add it. Let's see if we get any air out of here. If we get air out of here, that is interesting to me. And so I want to keep an eye on that. Oh, don't do that, you devil. Spawn that. But it's looking like it's possible. It needs some tweaking, I think. I think you need to play with some stuff, but I think you could build a loco with a tender and have it work. It's just going to take a little work to get it to work perfectly. Just letting that build up. I'm just checking the weekly update again. Yeah, if you like what happened to the fire extinguishers, go ahead and put a comment on there that you enjoy what happened to that you like they made them more realistic. If you don't like that they made them more realistic, put that on there too. You know, feedback is good. Just again, if you're a jerk about it, you know, personally, people put a jerky comment on my videos. I don't listen to them, you know. And so I don't know why people think being a jerk will get their view heard or respected. It just doesn't. You know, if you act respectfully, people are much more likely to take it as such. All right, let's see where we're at here. There we go. We're starting to push pistons. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and go click, click, and click. Let's get that just ramped up. We'll watch the values here. So let's go look and see here. I'm curious if we're getting any air in here. If we get airflow out of here, we're not. Okay. So we're still getting airflow here. So somehow there's air getting in this part of the... Oh, you know why we're pumping air. Okay, that's fine. We're blowing air out here. That's to keep this from clogging. We could probably put a gas here instead of here. There's a bunch of choices with this. I like to do it here just because it pushes the air out and it helps flow the water with the air. So sometimes I found that's working better, is pushing air and water together. Get rid of the air and then put the water where you want it to go. But look here. We're losing gas out of this area. So there was gas in here somehow. So we are losing some gas, so I think it's beneficial to get a vent on there. It's still not completely fixing our fluid volume issue, but look at our steam. Our steam's up at 107. That's pretty high. We're still around 37 atmospheres of steam pressure, which is really, I think, the way we can really kind of tell what our steam's doing. I'm curious if we increase the temperature, what would happen. So, like, I would run the system, Rasmus, and play with temperature. Set up a gravity flow system, set up a pressure flow system, run different temperatures. Like, I don't have a temperature controller on here anymore. It's in here in the box. It's not manual, but, like, I'm curious I can't tell what the ambient temperature is in here. But I'm curious if you were to increase the temperature, what would happen? Like currently we're at 120. You might, you know, you might get different results there on that. You know, because you see the fluid volume is, okay, fluid volume is going back up. See it going up again. So we're starting to get fluid volume up. We've got our steam pretty stable. We're around 25 atmospheres. So again, probably 2 boilers would get us up to close to 60. So we'd be pulling peak. But frankly, I think, let's see how stable the system runs. Because if it's running stably, looking at the generator, we're making 700 S-watts. That's a pretty good bit of power we're making. That's pretty good. Could it be better? Sure. You know, again, we could double this with another boiler. If we doubled it, we're up to 1,500 S-watts again. So, yeah, I think that's working all right. You notice the fluid volume is going back up, so it's kind of the boiler is kind of dictating its own fluid volume. The other thing you theoretically could do is put a variable valve right here and control the steam pressure. Put it PID control. Say you want steam pressure to always be at 30 or 25 or whatever you're going to set it at. Set your steam pressure on this side right here. But those are some things you could do. But it seems pretty stable. You know, it's pushing, like, again, I don't really care about some of these numbers. What I care about is output. Like, is my output stable? Because that's actually going to be what you care about. Like, do you really give a shit about those numbers? Probably not. Because, like, if you need 600 S-watts to be able to run your train, you know, I'm just talking electrical here. If you need 600 S-watts to run your train and you're getting 730, well, you're good. You know, it doesn't matter what the numbers are over here. You have ample amount of electricity, you know. So that's why I tend to do an output strategy than doing, like, I'm trying to get my steam exactly to 60. I don't give a shit. You know, look, you know, I've got enough S-watts. You know, that's what matters to me is kind of the output strategy. But, okay, it's run stably now. Nice. So Rasmus says that's going well. So that's good. Yeah, so that's kind of my thought process. I play with these vents all the time. Sometimes it's beneficial to run some air with your water. Sometimes it's not. It also depends. The boiler's going to take in what it wants. You know, this here is interesting to me. Like, look at this. We're pushing out 0.01 liters per second of gas. Where is this coming from? I would say it's coming from the boiler. I would say any gas getting trapped in the boiler is now able to escape and come out here, which frees it up to let the water go in. And so that could have been a problem. So maybe you want to start adding T-pieces here to let any errant gas get out. So that's something good. Like here, we're pushing a lot of gas because it's coming through the top. It's actually getting sucked through the tanks and going through here. Look at the tank pressure. We're pulling a vacuum on the tanks, and that's letting air in, and it's as a relief valve, and then it's coming through with the water. The air goes out, the water goes through here, and then any errant gas from here is coming out here. So by doing these extra relief valves, that made it even better. And people keep saying it's unintuitive. It's not. It's not perfect to real life, but it's intuitive. If you understand the way gas compresses, that it could clog up a system, you start realizing that if you give that gas a place to go, you're likely going to be able to have good results. It's not 100% to real life, but nothing is in game, right? I can jump off a building and not break my ankle, you know. But it seems to be working pretty well. So let's get off that for a little bit. Let's go over here, Zang. But yeah, so let's see what else function-wise we want to put on here. Maybe I'll build my A-frame. But yeah, so this is going to be, so this is a module for here. Let's redo this module over here. So what we'll do is this here, we'll go Zach, like that. We'll do a hard point right here. Alright, we'll do that, I think. Let's repaint this. Oh, piss off. There we go. Okay, good, good. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, so this is the new module for mag-alling. That will go like that. Shit. Yeah, it will work. Okay, this will go like... so this is the... Not launch. We'll go... Oh, shit. I need a composite on this now if I do it like this. I would need a microcontroller on here. Yeah. Sucks. I need a microcontroller in there, which is kind of blow, but whatever. That's the problem. I gotta make a microcontroller to control it now if I don't want to do cable. Could just keep it and attach it to the multi-point there. How do I want to do this? That's the problem. Is I gotta do that to make that. Mana. Yeah, I like the look of a couple microcontrollers sitting on the sides of it. Probably not very well, but we'll see what's up. Yeah, I don't like the look of it. That sucks. So this one here, I think. Let's see, what's this one? So we'll say, which one is toggle? I think function 1 toggles, so let's go to function 1. Mag, okay. Trying to get this to look all right. It's tough with these microcontrollers. Can't make them look how I want them sometimes. See, it gaps it there, and I can't get a block in there to fix it, so... Wish I could get an XML block in there to fix it. I don't want to make it huge, that's the problem, so... Can I... No way I can get in a XML block to cover it. That's annoying. Could do another cable connection to try to get it, but could just keep it as a cable connection. Keep it as a cable connection, take off the multi-point, and just run it as it is, but we'll see. Leave it like that for now. I'm not thrilled with it, but what I could do is I could do a cable connection. Could do this. I could go like this. Oh, fucker. So I could go... No, I can't do that. Balls. That's not helpful. All right. I just can't get that the way I want it. So kind of live with it for now. Let's go ahead and get rid of this for now. I don't need this on here. Get rid of the container. But it was good to get some parts made for this. All right, so what we could do is like when we launch this, I like having a rack where we have different modules. So like come in here, we would go ahead and open this door, store this. So we just grab the hardpoint and we can walk it. And then I would have to put the other hardpoint side up there as my hanging attach point. So that would go into there to store it. And then we come over here and I can not grab a rope anchor, but curious how I can pass it through. Could do a cable connect on there. Something I could theoretically do. But the other thing I could do is this, is just take it off. I was gonna say, please don't fall in the water, you ding dong. Okay. And then when I want to use the mag all one, just do this. Make it a little bit different. Grab this here by, can't grab the hard point. Yeah, I can't grab that hard point. That's fine, we can dick with that later. So I want to keep that multi-point connected, frankly. I'll put some sort of logic connection on it. And so W is up now. And so if you just suck this all the way up, they'll eventually get to equal length here. The other thing I could do is put some logic in there where it maintains the length constantly. Or keeps them the same length. That's something else I could do. So, got a bunch of stuff I can do on this. So you just go till they stop and then you go down. Why is down not working? Awesome. Okay, we need to fix that. The down is not working. Let me make sure. Let's see what happened here. Winch down is -1 on channel 2. Okay. So let's see. WS is channel 2. Reset 100%. Why? Did I not plug it in? Where's winch down? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Winch down. Winch down is there. Okay. -1, -1. Why is winch down not working? Sure, that's seat. It is. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna change it to, I want these toggles, so. Let's go. I want to have this have a root. Let's do that. So I don't want these to be pushes, because if I have to like really drop that winch down a lot, it's gonna take 100 years. So do it like this. I can then reset it. Okay. No, you don't want to work at all now. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong keys again. Okay. Click the wrong button again. I think this is how I had it originally. Okay. That's not gonna make a toggle though. I just put pulses. I'll pulse them out. That's what I'm missing. Pulses. That's what I'm doing wrong. Okay, we'll pulse those out. There we go. Yeah, I think they've been doing a pretty good job with updates. You know, we've had, I need to look at them, but they, you know, we had variable pitch propellers. We had some good fixes in there. Then we had the pulleys, which I think was a good change. And then we now have, you know, some good fixes here for, you know, things the community didn't like with the pulley changes, you know. So it's, you know, they're being responsive. All right, you know, S, W, S, S, W, W, S, S. There we go. Okay, that works well. All right, so I think I want to change this to multifunction. So what I think I'm going to add here is, let's add another way to connect through. So trying to think, I was going to add another node here. So I was going to add a cable node to go down into the for the attachment point. So it'd be something like I don't know, that. Something like that, and then what we could do is for this could get a because I don't want to have to put a microcontroller on here for something small. Currently, I'm going to have to, so what we could do is this. So So something like that, I think. And then that would attach the hard point there, and then we would plug in a cable here. So let's grab a cable. All right, and then how to set this up. So let's go. This would be on-off output to go to mag-all. And then we would do, we need electricity. Okay. I'm trying not to have to put a microcontroller on all of these, because that gets bulky. That gets bulky. Okay, and then what we want to do is function 1. Actually, we don't need function 1. We can run. What am I running for that? Let's see. So on-off output is space is trigger. Winch 1. Controller on-off. Okay, I don't know what the hell it is though. Winch 1 on-off is trigger. Okay. So that will be trigger. And so then what will happen is this will pump to here. So we'll go on-off output will go there. And that's going to go there. So we'll go there like that. No, I don't want it like that. Nope. That's going to drop that. That's fine. So we're going to keep that as it is. Okay. And then we want to change this. So this is going to go... do 2. Okay, that will go like that for 2. I don't know how to... what do I want to trigger it with, though? Interesting. I'm trying not to have to use too much panel. Don't have to read it. Let's go ahead and we'll do, there's 1. We'll do 1 right here. Let's undo that. Okay, and then we'll add a node. We already had a node, didn't we? Yep, right there. Okay. It's going to be winch 2 on/off output. Right there. This will go here. And so if we do function 1, it will also control that. So sometimes this will actually be activated, sometimes it won't. So if it's going to go through the hard point, it will be this one. If not, it'll be the cable. That just handles the logic there, essentially. And then this will be winch 2 on/off right. If I can find it. Right, where the hell are you, guy? Where's that? Medium winch. Where the hell? Why is this one? What's this? Okay. Like that. That then goes down to this. And then what we'll do is we'll hook a cable. That will then do the mag-all. So let's try this. Alright, so this should control our mag-all for us for our mag-all controller. Because I don't want to have to add a microcontroller all of these. Like some of them, like this one's big anyway, so microcontroller doesn't, it's not terrible. But we'll go ahead, we'll drop that off. We'll come over up. We'll go ahead and we'll grab this so we can grab it by the hardpoint connector. That's why it's beneficial to have that on there. I can easily pick it up. And then, kind of got to get it aligned, which I'm stepping on a bunch of crap, but... You can also drop it down on the deck and have it pick up with a crane, so... Put it right here, for example. I'll pick it up with a crane, and then the cable is going to go... that's going to be attached, and that's going to be an info cable. So some of them will get the hardpoint information, but then they need to process it in their own microcontroller. This makes it so that this one doesn't. Oh, come on. Oh, okay, I didn't mean to do that. I changed all the keybinds, so I'm kind of like screwing with it here, trying to get it figured. There we go. Okay, good. So that's now attached, and then I should be able to do function 1. And it pissed on my ear. Oh, I didn't hook up the cable. Okay, that's the issue. I didn't hook up the cable. Where the hell's that cable getting connected? Shit. Okay, I'm good. Alright, I forgot what I was even doing for a second there. Alright, so now this one is going to get connected from here to there. There we go. And now that should pass the info through. And we should be able to do 1. Why is function 1 not working? Function 1's not working. I have to fix that. Should be passing it through, though. Oh, because I know why. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Let's see how I hooked this up. I hooked it up donkey, I think. I hooked it up donkey. So this right here is getting the on-off signal. This has to go to here. There we go. That will do it. Okay, that I screwed up. I can't cross-connect like that. You have to connect through this way. That's why it didn't like it. Okay, good. All right, we're good now. All right, let's let that not swing overboard. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll rotate just a little bit. What is... Something's fucked up with the rotation and the winches. Now look at this here. What is up with the winches here? Composite 2. Do I have a composite 2 reading off that somewhere that's being a pain in the ass? Composite 2, no, I don't. 2 winch. Okay, I don't know why that was... The winch seemed to go down when I went right, which I don't get. Make sure this is set up correctly. WS should be reset 100%. That should be winch. Okay. So, did I change that? AD should be reset 100%. That should be extend, retract. Okay, let's check that out. Extend retract is, yep, 1. Okay. Something's funky here I gotta figure out. Something I did, but figure it out. Okay, AD now does winch in and out. Okay, that moves fine. Alright, good. Let's drop this off. Alright, that's fine. You're used to move the new control scheme here. I'm still trying to do the old control scheme, so a little bit challenging trying to get that old control scheme. Probably need to slow down rotation. It's too fast. Okay, okay, I'm still trying to hit the old control scheme, which is not helpful because 1 and 2 are toggles, and I keep hitting the old control scheme. Okay. Again, the nice thing with this is I can grab the anchor and then put it into place. There we go, it grabs. All right, now I need my cable, and the cable goes from here to here. Okay, that's going to pass info through, so I don't have to micros on there if I don't want. All right, and then we should be able to hit 1. It's still not doing it, you son of a bitch. Why are you not doing? Alright, let's press 1 and go look at everything and see why it's not behaving itself. Should be on or off. So, on, off, output is false. Let's go press 1 again, see what happens. I accidentally made it off of this, maybe. I don't know, I gotta look. Maybe that's what I did. I gotta look at it. Which side? It should be this one. False. Okay, that's fucked up. Let's check it. How's it going there, Zerfin? Going alright. Just working on the old ship here. Hopefully, trying to get this. It's actually getting there. What's going to happen is I'll be able to start throwing some handles on here and panels to control the crane, and then a bunch of the crap on the deck can go, and then we should hopefully... These are kind of the things I want to get done so we can get it in the career build series. The crane needs to kind of function. That's a big thing, so... Let's see what the hell's going on with this now, why this is misbehaving. Alright, let's see. Winch crane 2 on off goes right here to medium winch output on off. Okay, that will pass the signal down through the cable to here. Then it needs to go from on off output to there. So it's not even triggering here. Then that's fine. And then that will go from there to there. That's connected correctly. So something screwed up here for the just to make sure that's good. So that right there is winch 2 on off. That should be 1. Winch, okay, I put it, where did I put it? Right here. This is wrong, that's why. Okay. This is it right here is the screwed up problem. Okay. That would be why. So that's what's causing this problem right there. Alright, so this needs to be right here. I hooked it in the wrong composite. So that's it right there. Alright, and then this will go down 1, that will go down 1 more right there. Okay, that will fix that. Okay, that fixes that now, so we should be good there. Alright, that fixes that. That was a likely culprit, so... I will drop that off. We'll reset it so I can go ahead and hook the mag all up. This gives us some versatility on attachment points and what we want. Gives us a standardized system that I can work with. There we go. All right, then we need a cable. Look, piss off. Okay, that should work now, so we should be able to activate the magall with the 1 function key. And there it is. Okay, good. So that works now. So that's connected. So, you know, whatever we want to grab a ship, put it in the back. You know, if we don't want to get wet, we want to grab a crate, loot crate. We can go ahead, and with this, we can go ahead and do that. So it'd be 1, and then... Problem is I had a control scheme on here, so I'm trying to work the other control scheme, and it's tough. So there we go. We could grab something and bring it up. Let's see, been streaming for a while. It's good to get a stream in. I haven't been streaming too much. I just haven't been feeling the game, and now I am. You know, it's you know, like I've talked about a bunch of times. Sometimes a break's the best thing you can do. Take a little break. You know, so that's good. Either winch will now. So the left winch, the one that's forward now, that one controls dropping this piece here. And then the other one will control sending the signal to this. So that allows me to control different things with this. So I like that, and it's got a quick connect system. So there's a bunch of stuff we can do quick connect that will be fun. We can do a bunch more modules. For example, one of them will be another winching module in case I want to, say, for example, move something. I could even do a cool piston one where I can articulate something. That would be kind of cool. So I have some good options here. Let's make a... I'm kind of in the mood to keep playing with this. Like, this is the thing that I love geeking out on, is these functional systems. So, like, let's work on a... I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. That's gonna be a lot of work. I was gonna do like a multi-piston system that will allow me to tip it, but I don't want to do that right now. I think of what else we could do for, like, so for example, there's something cool I can do with winches. If I had 4 winches on the container, I can move the container by extending, say, the starboard winches and pulling in the port winches. I can move the crate. I can rotate it right by, say, extending the port winches and pulling in the starboards and twist the container. You can move it all with winches, so that's kind of fun too. It gives you some functionality on that. But, you know, a bunch of cool things you can do with this. For example, any ship or vehicle I have with a hardpoint on top, I can pick up now with this hardpoint connector. If I want to be able to rotate them, I can pick them up with this. With the winch, with the magall, I can just pick them straight up, you know. So it's some cool stuff to do here. Bunch of good functionality on this. And then so what we can do is, now that we kind of have a standardized system, that is now... we need receptacle ones, so let's do that. So what we can do here is put a couple of these in. Symmetry's off, nice. So these can go in the ceiling here, and now I can store these in here. So this kind of makes it a winch and kind of a utility room, which is kind of what I want. Okay, and then this will fix up here. All right, so this, for example, I don't want this one on the winch. I actually don't want any of them on the winch. We'll kind of start with it bare. So these can be hanging inside, and when we need them, we can move them manually. And just kind of hang on the wall here in the stable with the hardpoint. But hardpoints are another awesome addition to the game. That was a big change with the things we could do. That was really an awesome addition. Okay. And it helps, you know, bring a little liveliness to the ship here, adding some things in here. So, you know, I'll probably end up putting a drawer. I have a toolbox that I put all these ropes and cables in, so I'll have a couple toolboxes built in here. I might put a workbench here with a bunch of sliding drawers that have a bunch of stuff, or opening cabinets, so that will flesh that out a little bit, but for now we'll do that. These, I need to work on the door controllers. Likely what I'll do is I'll put them on a panel for the crane as well. That way I could open the doors here, I could open the doors by the crane. So for example, like say I'm controlling the crane from the bridge. I can sit on the bridge, control the crane, pick up the mini truck. I can then open the door from while I'm moving the crane. Open the door, put it in, detach it, close the door, stow the crane, then go down and put the vehicle away. So that's kind of fun to be able to do that. Let's go ahead and save this up. A good bit of building. I'm going to just take like a 5-minute break while I go get a drink, go to the bathroom, and we'll load up the world so that the Career Build Series world. Let's save this one more time. I get a little bit crazy about that. But let's see if I built anything else to show you guys. Not too much, just kind of clean up. I really didn't do much. I worked on this. But, yeah, I want to get this helo cleaned up at some point. But let's go ahead. I'll boot that world, the regular save. And I'll put something on. I'm just going to go get drinks and go to the bathroom. Let's find you a video to watch. Maybe some Tarkov. Tarkov's good for just like the shorts, to kind of play out shorts while I'm utilizing the facility. There we go. I always clicked the wrong button on this one. Yeah, he shut it. I'll do a sound check real quick before I go use the facilities, just if you guys could let me know if this is too loud or if it's good. I don't want to blow your eardrums out while I'm trying to this. Oh, come on, YouTube, just do it. YouTube's trying to be a pain in the ass here. There we go. Okay, it's just being slow. YouTube's been kind of slow lately. One thing, guys, this has been all over Reddit and everything else. If you notice your YouTube is running like crap, and you notice that it's just super slow, they're trying to crack down on ad blockers. It sucks. Like, I have YouTube Premium, so I don't pay for ads anyway. But if you have ad blocker on, it is slowing your whole PC down. It is essentially like killing your CPU. It's overloading your CPU. I had this. I was like, why the hell? I had a couple YouTube videos open, and it was doing that. So it sucks. But I have YouTube Premium, so like, yeah, he shut it. I put allow ads on, and now it's running nicely. So it sucks. Some people have been going to Firefox or find another ad blocker, or if you're watching my videos, just watch the ads. But I understand if you don't want to watch the ads. It sucks sometimes to watch ads, but you know, that is if you're having that issue, that's what's going on. Just give me a sound check. How's that sound? Is that volume too loud on the video?
Sure.
You're right. Just give me a quick sound check, guys. Does that sound too loud, or is that good for the video here?
I'm not trying to get in your way.
I need a response, or I gotta just go use the bathroom.
Gotta watch the back door behind you.
So I'm gonna just go.
Dead.
God damn.
Shot me in the face.
Fucking thrilled, man.
More.
Go
Good
both.
shit. There's another one shooting, maybe? I'm dead.
He's dead.
Is that the player?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's dead too.
Got a guy over at a scout checkpoint.
Okay.
He's running this way.
I see him, I see him, I see him. I got him.
You got him?
Yeah.
Nice, bro.
Ah! Ah! P90, bitch. That's our guy. Rocked. No, that's out.
Maybe not.
It's over here somewhere. Be careful, that's over here somewhere. He's killing scabs, so. On the roof. I see him. He's dead. Got him. Right here, right here, right here. Got him. Turning in my last noodle today. Oh, right here, right here, right here. He's going for it. I didn't kill him. He's dead now.
We got movement right.
Okay.
At the wall.
Right.
Yep.
He's dead now too. Got him. Got that next guy too. That was a player.
Nice.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, sorry. I'm just crawling to cover here.
The fucking great snake got me. Oh, that's fucked, dude. Like, oh Jesus.
Nice.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, sorry.
The fucking great snake got me. Oh, that's fucked, dude. Gotcha! Too hard.
Fuck.
Yep.
Oh fuck, I'm fucked. I'm gonna die.
T45. Fuck. One's dead. Me.
I need help, 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 help.
Yep. Two's dead. Got you. Hello. So do a little Tarkov stream here. Play some stormworks while we load in as well. I clicked the wrong button there. Alright. So I'm trying to get re-inspired for stormworks. And then get back into that. But we can work a little bit on both. A little bit of stash management to start here. And then during the load-in, we'll work a little bit on some stormwork stuff. See what we have for stash stuff to do. Let's right, I returned here, so let's get rid of this. Alright, so we're back in the Career Build Series save. Fix the music here. Music's probably gonna be loud as hell. Nope, it's alright. Okay, good. I increased it locally. Alright, so we're back where we left off last time. Go ahead and see what we're looking at here. Good money. Did we buy this? We bought FJ. So let's go ahead and I think I'm not going to bother running. Again, this is why I do things like no clip is. Add any value for me to run over there for you guys? I don't think it does. What do we have here? Backaches. JSI 3, that's got 2 minutes left. That's going to expire. I already kind of checked these, I think. Didn't really have any. Let's go ahead and we'll run a JSI off. I'll bring up the next vehicle from the last build challenge. All right, let's see who's next. I think, let's see, it's one of the community favorites. So we have Von Ducey and Zizo. Let's see. Tied for the community fave. Yep, so the Marley is by Von Ducey. I just want to double check, make sure I don't screw this up. Yep, okay. So we'll grab Marley, and then it's just the first one there, so. Do them in chronological order. We'll grab that. We'll go ahead and get that container. We'll take that over to JS and I. And we'll try to get one to come back. Bring up OBS so I actually see what's going on here. There we go. I liked Marley. Marley was close on points as well. That was a very close challenge in general. I'm not a big fan that this is attached. My recommendation too with these challenges, don't do something like this attach in a container. Because it, you know, somebody's just going to have to delete it. You know, just delete that out. Ah, fuck, I forgot this is going to drop like crazy. I hate these. This base always like has everything way high. You gotta drop it. All right, good. So let's. Hopefully, I can just remember how to run this, so I don't have to go too much into. Piss off. Where's the button? 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 There it is, right there. All right, there we go. Okay, good. Let's see. Right here. Let's see, what do we got here? Okay, there we go. So, like you see, we're squealing a little bit, but not much. That's likely because I upshifted too fast, so a little bit too far of a spread on the gear ratios, but it's not bad. There's somebody asking yesterday that on I think Reddit. It was you know, something about like they were asking about like how much they should XML grip their tires, and part of it is a big part of it is you know, if you're in the right gear, the game is trying to help you out, and so some of the issues with or inaccuracies with the game is it's trying to help you out, and one of the ways it's trying to help you out is by okay, I think I need to get out. I think I do. You know, if you're in too high of a gear, normally in real life you'd stall. In what happens in game is it will slip the gear. It will slip the wheels, so that you can actually, if you don't know what you're doing, you can still be able to play fine and still be able to enjoy the game. And the issue with that is that it you know, it makes it so the wheels spin all the time, and so people will think that, oh, there's something wrong with it, where really not too much is wrong with it. Like, if the devs let you grip the wheels up to 2, I think we'd be fine. There are some cases where I don't think it's enough, but for most cases, I think 2 is fine. I use 5 on my construction vehicles, and then if you want to XML beyond that, great. But I think the devs just need to make it so that it's 2. That would be plenty. For most applications, I find. But a lot of it is that people just don't have their vehicle in the right gear ratios. And so you're essentially trying to go too high, and in real life you would stall, and in game you end up spinning your tires. And so it's a way to make it so that a person who doesn't know how to perfectly make a gearbox, because they didn't watch my tutorial, are able to still play with their vehicle and enjoy it. And the consequence is, yeah, you get some spinning tires, but it allows you to have a vehicle that doesn't stall constantly. You know, and you can see this with, if you have a, for example, if some of my trucks, if I start in 7th gear, it will spin the tires. Would it do that in real life? No, it would stall. It spins the tires, and that makes it more forgiving. You know, if you start it in 1st, no spin, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. You go through all 10 gears, it doesn't spin at all. It's because you're in the right gear. You're not, you know, and the wheels are kind of, if the wheels were giving you realistic grip, it would stall your engine, because the wheel would say, nope, not moving, you didn't give me enough torque, and the engine would stop, you know. Let me quickly check this. Infinite electric can come off. Vehicle damage is on. Okay, we're good. Keep an eye on overheating. Wow, look at engine temp. Wow. That's hot. Oh, it's in Fahrenheit. Never mind. It's in Fahrenheit. I thought that was Celsius for a second. I was like, holy Jesus. Never mind. It's Fahrenheit. Perfectly normal. Because it's 29 degrees. 29 point something C. Down here at the arid biome, so. Gotta read Citra's comment while I'm driving here. People who keep asking why they would need a gearbox when they can have one in the official stormworks Discord will never understand. Yep, you know, it's the same thing as, like, you know, the people who are you're talking about, oh, you know, you don't need the valves on your steam. I know I don't need the valves on my steam piston. I want the valves on my steam piston. Like, can you make something run that is not realistic? Sure. You know, and for some people that's great, and other people they want realism, and so that's the compromise. You know, again, you know, the audience would be pretty small for the game that I would want. Everything would be ultra complicated. I would have more fun playing that, but it's not a wide appeal game, and so I'm okay with the game not doing to make the game easier here and there because it makes it so that more people can enjoy it, and you know. And so I don't mind, like, some of my fun being diminished here and there so that the greater community can enjoy the game. Yeah. Sorry, you can hear me crunching. You know, they talk about games having a low floor and a high ceiling. That's ideally what you want. A low floor means that people can come in and start playing right away, and you don't have to spend 200 hours to learn how to do the simplest thing. So that's a low floor. It's a low barrier to entry. You can come in. You don't need to have a lot of physics knowledge. You come in, and you're able to do something. A high ceiling means you can keep learning new stuff. You can keep playing. There's tons of new stuff to do. This game, I think, has a medium floor, high ceiling. I prefer a medium floor, high ceiling myself because I think it's more rewarding. You know, the problem is, well, you know, ideally low floor, high ceiling is best, but can you really get that all the time? No. No, so this has a medium floor, high ceiling. You know, a lot of people never build anything. They come in, they get stuff off the workshop, and that's perfectly fine. You know, and for the people who the floor is too low, is too high, and they can't get in and start because it's over their head, they can play with the workshop creations. You know. You know, Citrus put out a couple transmissions. I put out some transmissions. If you don't know or you don't want to learn how to build a transmission, you can go in the workshop, get a transmission, plug it in, and it works. You know, it's why I made my car chassis. I made a light truck, I made a car, and then I put out a couple truck transmissions. So if you have no interest in learning how to build a truck transmission, you don't have to. You can just go play, you know. But I like this truck. This truck came out nice. Drives really well. It's a little bit feels top heavy, but like you'll get in some real tractors and they'll have some pretty good cab sway. And the wheels aren't coming off the ground. It's just it feels like they're tippy and they're really not. You know, so this has a little bit of a cab sway feel to it, but like I've never rolled this, so. So we're doing 64 miles an hour. Good speed. Engine's not screaming in my ear. Like the detailing in here. Rear view, I like the rear view, was a good addition to it. You know, generally most trucks, you might have a rear view in a truck like this. In a straight back, you might have a rear view like this. Like, none of the tractors I've ever driven had a rear view. You don't need it. You just look out the back window. Where you're looking at side mirrors. Like, if you have a sleeper cab, you're just looking at side mirrors. Yeah, people are kind of spoiled these days with having rear backup cameras. I wasn't even in top gear. Like, we're up to 80 miles an hour. I think that's too fast. So, you know, this does a good gearbox, though. I can go in this gear, whatever I'm in, fourth, and I can floor it, and I'm doing 64. And if I wanted to go faster, I could, but this is a proper gearbox where I am at my max RPM, and I'm in a gear, and of course it's math, right? So I can only ever go so fast. If the engine is at max RPS, the wheels will only rotate at a certain speed. That will move me at a certain speed, you know, so pretty simple math there. All right, we're coming up on JSI now. All right, there it is. Bingo. JSI is a little weird. I would like to see them go back and fix some of these a little bit. I see it's not the end of the world here. I'll show you what we can do. So this isn't the end of the world. So say I wanted to load a ship and I don't have a ship loading crane on there. It's still pretty easy to be done with an add-on. You know, you'll see people quite often asking, hey, you know, what happened to the crane that used to be at XYZ base? And I would like to see the devs put in a static vehicle workbench, which is what we have for oil platforms or like the bases you build, and put them at these container docks so that we can spawn in a container crane. Because sometimes you want a small vehicle, a small boat, and you want to be able to load it with something else. It's just not a big, you know, it's too small. Let's say you have a single container, small little boat as a starter boat that really can't lift itself. And so, a couple things you can do. I didn't get, hold on, let me get the mission done. I put myself in neutral. I stalled, I think. Yeah, I stalled. All right. Like this truck, for example, I think this truck, I think it's only like a 5-speed. So this could probably benefit from, I would say, an 8. You know, a 6 is pretty normal for a truck this size too, I guess. It's a little bit wide though. You wouldn't be going more than 65. But like there is the thing here in game where some people get bored if things take more than a couple minutes, which I get. Like there was a video talking about Skyrim and how like each POI was within. Did I get this delivered? I can't tell. Did you guys see a delivery message? Where each POI was within like 40 seconds of each other, and for Starfield it was they were like 5 minutes, and so people getting bored for waiting for 5 minutes. And so for me, I don't mind if things are 5 minutes away. Some people literally they don't have the attention span for more than 40 seconds, which, you know, I'm not digging on it. It's just like some people just don't have that attention span for that, and so it's you know, they need it to be close or they don't have a lot of game time, so that's understandable. You know, and so I get why some people want a 300 knot boat. It's just not me, you know. Why is this not getting accepted? So I actually didn't see the other bench here. Let me check the 2 benches here because maybe my statement is wrong here. I thought you had no place to put a land vehicle in here. Maybe you do. Because there's this one here, and then I saw one over there. Maybe it's 2 sea vehicles. I don't know. I don't know. Did you guys see me get a mission, container? Did I go to the wrong? Maybe I grabbed the wrong one. Yeah, exactly. Like, you could build a base, you could build a crane, you could despawn it. Let's say your game's laggy. You despawn it. But the other thing, too, is you could leave your tower crane up, and when you get a certain distance away, it despawns. And so it lets it cull. I don't know if this got delivered or not. Stand by. I'll park real quick here. Now, which one's park and brake? What do we got here? One? Okay. So, like, this bench here, I can't use the bench, but I think it's a water bench. These look like 2 water benches. But, like, one thing you could do is this. Like, let's say you want to load your ship, right? So, I'm just going to save real quick. Let's say 19. 19. So, one thing you do is go in the add-on editor. Do this JSI crane. JSI crane, we go to mission locations, we find JSI, it's on the Meyer Islands. Not the easiest one to find. Right here. Go to edit objects. All right, so here we are. And then let's say we want to put it right next to ship, right? So we take our vehicle, right? Let's say we wanted to load something on there. So I could take either put an actual crane, or I could take my ship loader. And when it's time for me to load the ship, right? I do that. I go ahead and I save this. This would be JSI ship loader. Okay. Then we go ahead. We load JSI ship loader. We test the location. Well, now that's here. Didn't cost me any money. All right. And so I can load my ship now with the ship loader. All right. So that's something you can do instead of like these bases where they didn't leave us in a situation where we're completely helpless. We could still load a ship. So we go grab a container. I could load a truck here, right? I could put that in as an add-on. I could load my truck, or I could pick up containers, load my ship right here. And then when I'm done, let's do add-on editor and exit, and bingo, it's gone. Didn't cost me anything. So that is a good way for you to RP and say, hey, in real life, when you're a truck driver and you go to the container port, you don't buy the container mover, right? You just go and the container mover is there. They load you up. Sorry, I'm eating chips. And so this way, you can RP that as, hey, in real life, I wouldn't be buying the container loader. So instead of me having to have 100 grand in the bank just to be able to move a container that's worth 3 grand, instead of always being like, oh, the dev should do X, Y, Z, sometimes like, hey, man, the tools are there, do it yourself, play how you like, because there's no way they can ever make the game exactly how everybody wants to play. So the tools are there. You can do some of the stuff yourself. Let's say I want to load a ship with a more static system. So we go in here, we load up JSI ship loader, we'll go edit it. We'll delete it. Let's see, I think I have a tower crane. Crane. I don't have the one that I had on my base. But like here's Triton's crane. Now Triton's crane's not set up for this. But like say you had an actual tower crane, right? You might have to have magulls to have it attached to the ground. But you could literally put the crane in the world and use it to load your ship and then despawn it. What is also nice is here, let's save real quick. We just saved. So like if we go over here to this base here, this allows us to put static. This is what I'm talking about with static vehicle workbenches. So a static vehicle is a base, essentially. You could put something like a crane, and it's permanently affixed. So, like, if we look at this base here, which is one of the ones we'll probably buy at some point, this is what it looks like. This is the workbench for that, and this allows you to put it, and it's static. And so that would allow you, if they would put one of these at each of the container ports at the very least, you could build a crane, and then you could spawn it. It would cost you, say, 20 grand, but you're only using it for the time it's there. You get infinite electricity. You can make electric if you want. You load your ship. Bingo, done. you despawn it or you leave it in the world. If your game's running fine, leave it in the world. If you're a little laggy, despawn it. You know, when you're done. You know, it's good for RP. You know, but that's a good way if you need a vehicle somewhere. You can do that. See the container disappeared. That's because I got too far away. Not a big deal. So, like here, watch this. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna bring this vehicle back to workbench. All right. Let's teleport back there. So we'll go add on. We'll go ahead and we'll delete this. Go ahead and we'll bring in Zizo's Valiant. We'll save it. All right. All right, it's in the world now. Let's go ahead and bring a container. Now, I don't know if it disappears at some point. This is a test, so we'll see if this disappears. It might. But we're going to bring one back to FJ. So if it disappears, I'll give it another run, but we'll see. It may disappear where they add on. I can't remember. But, like, this doesn't cost us any money doing it this way. Now, if you want to do something like this, you can, you know. You're in freight. You're in freight. If we don't get one, I'll just teleport back. FJ right here. What is that? $2 grand, 78 minutes. We got plenty of time there. But that's a way you can deal with this if they didn't, you know, they did not do us some favors with some of these things. I think they could really advance the game by doing some of these things. But again, you know, you can either pout and say, I can't play at all, or you say, hey, man, you know, not perfect, but I can still play, you know, and you can still play, as evidenced by these little tricks allow you to keep playing and having a good time, frankly. All right, let's go. This one, I didn't like the transmission, so I'm going to change into manual mode. Let's see. Okay. And then where is that? Over there somewhere. All right, let's see. Up, down is sequential gearbox. I'm going up, down. Let's see. Is reverse its separate thing? Parking brake's on, too. How's that on? Space. What? It's still in manual mode. God damn it. Can't remember if this is left or right side. Okay, it is left side. Okay. Or right side, rather. I was having issues getting this in manual mode. I didn't read the directions again, so it's still in automatic mode. But, doing alright right now. Very third-person focused for me. I just pressed the parking brake and it didn't put the parking brake on. Space, parking brake. Gotta hold it, okay. I've never heard of a parking brake you hold. You set the parking brake and you leave it on. That's what a parking brake is. Alright, hold it. Let's go ahead and, okay, it's on. Now, it's on now that we stopped. It's still in manual mode. I don't know how to... Like, I've literally clicked on it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but press 5. I can't shift out of reverse, so I don't know what's up with this transmission. Alright, that is, this is a top loader, I think. Top loader. Do it from this side. Let's see. Outriggers. Trying to remember this. I didn't, here we go. Didn't bother reading the rules again. Or reading the instructions again. Okay, a little bit grabby. There we go, okay. I don't know why crane unload. Okay. Crane unload's putting it on. Interesting. Oh, I think it grabs with grippers, so Okay. I think we're good here. Make sure this is connected. Connected, false, okay. There we go, okay. Alright, we're hooked up. This transmission again, I'm reading the rules, man. I just can't figure it out. Space parking brake off. Alright, I want manual mode. Do not like these auto gearboxes. Yeah, see, I'm like, up, down is supposed to be sequential gearbox. I cannot shift. It's like stuck in manual mode. I don't know. I'm not gonna bother sticking with it. I guess it's just for that. Like, I can shift now in manual mode, but I still can't, like, reverse and parking brake are all automated. And it's like, you know, as a real-life driver, I want to be in control of everything. You know, it takes a lot of the finesse out. And so especially that shifting forward reverse, I can't. I can't first person and get close to the container because the visibility is low and I can't stop it when I want to. You know, same thing happens in automatic tractors is they back up terribly. It's miserable how badly they back up, and they're very jerky and jumpy, and you're trying to like do precision work where you're moving 100,000 pounds and it like slams you back into the dock. Like people have jumped out of the Kenworths yelling and screaming like, you know, F this truck because they're that bad. And that's, you know, the real auto transmissions. You know, so auto transmission in a truck is pretty ugly. Some of them are pretty good. Like the Freightliners are pretty good, but like especially you get slipping in the snow, backing onto a door, they suck. And it's so much easier with a clutch. You really do some finesse work with a clutch to get it right where you need it. Much better control your speed. It's just I've never met a truck that I wanted to be an automatic. Alright, so this is by Zizo. Works pretty well. It's just, again, the transmission's not my favorite by any stretch of the imagination. You know, but it's personal preference, you know. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it's not what I like. You know, there's some people who hate manual transmissions. They're not right, but they they have their opinion. You know, it's like, for example, I don't like the airplanes that are set up like cars to try to give people like, oh, feeling like you're in a car. It's not a car. It's an airplane. It's supposed to feel like an airplane. There's reasons why for decades and decades and decades they've done certain things with airplanes is because that... Just checking where I'm going. Okay, I'm on the right path. You know, it's been evidence that that's what works well. And then like the... what is it called? Is it the Adams A5, the little crap seaplane that everybody keeps crashing in the water and dying? It's not, is that Adams? It's the A5. I don't think it's Adams. Adams is a different company. I think Adams went out of business in the recession. But the, yeah, the A5 is like, they were like, oh, it's like a car. And then they did all these promotional videos where they're like doing stuff that is ill-advised. And then you get amateur pilots who have more money than flight experience because they got their money not being pilots. They got their money doing something else. And so they're not experts, and they come in and they fly it like they have the skill to fly it in that way. And the promotional videos showed them doing these cool maneuvers that they have no business doing. And they crash right in the water. They had 2 test pilots crash and die in that plane because they were doing silly shit. You know, but adding those static benches, I think a lot of places would be really good to, you know, let us spawn a crane, despawn a crane, leave it there if we want. Spawn different types of base elements, maybe like, you know, mostly at those bases you'd want cranes, but like you could do a big LeBaire overloader. You know, sling loader. You could do a big LeBaire sling loader. You could do boat sling loaders. Put your boats in the water. Cool things like that with the base. You know, it's nice because with the add-on, it's a little bit... It's not terrible to have to, you know, put the add-on on and make edits. But it's really nice and convenient that if you need to make a little edit, you just despawn the base just like you would your car. Make a small edit, bring it back, and so you're really like not lost any money or anything. Yeah, good to see you, Anton. I don't know if I said hello. I think I said hi to... oh, okay. I said hi to Sergeant when he first came, but... Sergeant's AFK at the moment. May come back, may not. But yeah, so I'm happy with today's update. That was good. We're going to get an announcement coming up. Wouldn't surprise me if it is an announcement for a major. What the major is, I don't know. Fishing, I hate building hype. I think that's... reckless is the wrong word, but I think it's not really all that responsible to build up hype, but it would not surprise me if fishing was a major update this year. It's something people have been looking for. I think it's better fitted to a major certainly than a DLC. It's more in line with what the base game is about. You'd want that to be base game elements, and we did get some pulley updates recently that would help with some of those things. The ability to leave your winch on the boat and then drop your fishing pot all the way down to the bottom of the ocean. You know, generally, you know, the other thing, think about this, guys. We got rope detachment. That is helpful for if you are dropping your pots. Like, personally, I wouldn't do that. I would do a mag-all. But I would pick up the pot with a mag-all, drop it overboard. You know, throw over your buoy. But fishing would be a cool major. Like, see, we're still in 8th gear here. Like, we should already have dropped 2 gears, you know, so I'll do it myself. I'm in manual mode. I'm curious what the auto would do in that situation, but that's like that's you know how I would treat a turn like that. That's about a 2. The turn itself is a 2 shift, and then probably the hairpin's 2 more shifts. You know, the thing with we have in game again is like you're not going to stall if you're going to lug. You're going to spin your tires. You heard me spin my tires. That's likely I was out of the gear range where I should have been. You know, so it's that tolerance that is why I think it's in the game. Is it lets you be out of your gear window and still operate your vehicle without stalling it, you know? And you can gear your tires up, you can grip your tires up, and they will behave properly where they stall your engine because the tire is gripping so much it's slowing down the engine side of the clutch, and it is putting back pressure on the engine, shutting it right down, so. But these are the last 2 of the Build Challenge Hotel winners, so really some great builds. Like, I really like this build a lot. Just the transmission not my favorite. I really like the look of this one. This one had a really cool paint job. I like the dual steer axles are cool. I like having a side loader. The different loading mechanisms were really cool. We had a couple table loaders, hook lift, side loaders. It was nice to see all the different loading mechanisms. But you know, so this is a cool vehicle. I like the cab over design. Just not a huge fan of the transmission. You know, and like I said, I don't like the automatic transmissions in real life. They're terrible in real life. So it's not like this build is this build is the problem. It's like no, it's just the whole thought process is having a manual tractor gives you, or truck in general. Gives you more control over it, how it operates. You have so much torque in a truck. Like, it was funny. I have not driven a manual car in a while, so I drove my brother's WRX. And a WRX is supposed to have, like, good torque. And I kept, like, I kept lugging and having to rev way up because I'm used to a tractor. You know, I have, like, 1,200 foot-pounds of torque in the tractor. And so I don't need to rev up when I pick up the clutch. You pick up the clutch first in a tractor, and then you give it accelerator. It's opposite in the car. You have to do accelerator and then pick up the clutch because you don't have any torque in the car rather. And so it was funny driving my brother's car because I hadn't driven a manual car in a while. I'm like, holy, I have to rev the crap out of this. And that's supposed to be a sports car, you know, with a lot of torque. And it's because it has nothing compared to a tractor, you know. And so it's, you know, you need that real fine clutch control to be comfortable in a tractor, frankly, to be able to do what you need to do. Because it will be jerky and it's damn uncomfortable. Like the truck starts shaking you and knocking you around, it is super uncomfortable. Alright, so we'll unload this Johnny here. That was good to get these used. I enjoyed these. These are still in good working condition and shape. But yeah. But good work by Zizo. Good work by you know, Citrus, by Guarded, Halo, and Von Ducey. They're all the winners from the last challenge. We had 14 entries for hotels, so you know, generally you got a lot of entries. It's good to have a bunch of winners because usually the points are damn close, and so it's good to have everybody there. Let's go ahead, and if we do this add-on editor, it's gone. So it didn't cost us anything. So if you ever get in a pickle where I see a lot of new players like, oh my god, I'm out of fuel in my base. Well, okay, turn on infinite fuel, or I need this vehicle, or I need that, you know, I can't do this, this, or this. You can go ahead and despawn these things. Use the add-on editor. If you get in a real pickle where you know, you ran your only truck off the road, well, you can use an add-on, put it in a tow truck or crane, pick it up, put it back, get rid of it with the add-on. You know, do stuff like that. Put on infinite resources if you need to. You know, at the end of the day, you're just trying to have fun. Do what you need to do, you know. Let's put Von Ducey's truck back. But, so we got some good things coming here. We've got FJ, which is always one of my favorite bases to get. If we look here, looks like we did not get the money for the first container. I don't know why. Solid propellant. We have a lot of solid propellant here for some reason. So we have standard amounts of diesel jet. So one of the things is we have enough cash we can get a base going up here. What I might do is the oil deposit. This is the railroad track here. So what I might do is bring my diesel train over here. Fill that bad Johnny up with jet fuel and diesel, and then bring it all the way over to FJ and stick that in the base. And, you know, that's one thing I could do. FJ is just a better base, I think, for running oil. The shed's on fire over here. These missions are not going away. These guys have been here forever. A bunch of tow missions here. But now that we're out of that area, we can let those despawn. This is the oil from that mission we did. But yeah. So I think we'll end up there. Been kind of a long stream. Good to get back to it. I enjoyed working on the boat. Let me just do a quick save here. I enjoyed working on the home ship. That is getting to the point where once I get the cranes, have all the handles to control the cranes, we can get that in the world. We can start moving containers. Now that we have FJ, I can start to move that fuel because I need a lot of diesel to run that. That's kind of the limiting factor. So maybe get that train going, get the train over here, pump this base up with diesel, and then we can go. So that's kind of on the to-do list there. So I think that's kind of our you know, our goals coming up are going to be that. So all right, I want to thank the members. Sign out and Connor Boyle, Danny, Sergeant Chaos, Aaron Perzol, Citrus, Rasmus, MandaVR, and Anton Anderson. Thank you guys for being members. Thank you, Chicken Store, for being a patron. If you guys are interested in that, it's down in the description below. Thank you for everybody who's subscribed. If you guys have not subscribed and you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. And if you guys would like the video, that always helps out. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.